Happy Christmas Eve. Let's go see what Cassius has to say to us. And Victor, I guess. Second. You need to fuss with something. I have like weird menu settings. Something screwed up with my freaking settings. Something's off, but I can't tell what. Anyway, Rean, there you are. Thanks for coming. Not sure what filled me in on the details. I heard you two knew each other from before? Yes, we became acquainted through Toval during the guild raid 4 years ago. Master Kafai told me much about Cassius as well, so we became friends in no time. And after that, I introduced you in Arios. That duel you two had will go down in history as one of the greatest feats of swordsmanship in Zemarian history. Well, I must say I was amazed that your staff mastery could see off our blades. They seem like they're in an entirely different league as far as skill goes, the Divine Blade of Wind included. Looks like you're enjoying the evening, but I wonder if you would have time to discuss something. Please be aware that some content and quests will no longer be available after talking to Cassius. I mean, we might as well, that's what we're here for. There is something specific I need to tell you. I've received a letter from Master Kafai. I heard he sent you one when he was traveling. He sent it from Long Lai. It was probably because you were captured and Ymir was sealed off. It seems the Intelligence Division's Mark managed to track him down on his travels. Don't tell me something... Actually, never mind, it's him we're talking about. Though they were only sent as a warning, he chased them off with little effort. I say the Intelligence Division, but supposedly a different section than Arendel's. They're tasked with foreign affairs, and they seem to be active all over the continent. I heard about its existence from Altina. What do you have to say then? As you already know, the initial stage of the Eight Leaves School is to fully understand all of the form fundamentals in their entirety. In that regard, those who have been permitted to leave Master Kafai's side have been sent on the path to mastery of the style. You now stand at the end of that path. Does that mean you're going to step in for him? Yes, I will see if you have absorbed our final teachings in Master Kafai's place. It won't take too long. Do you have time now? So he's going to be giving us our final lesson? You made it? Yeah, right on time, too. How's it going, Chessmaster? Now, this was sort of spoiled for me because I remember when Cold Steel 4 originally came out, one of the biggest screenshots was of Cassius drawing his sword. So yeah. Allow me to relay to you what Master Kafai wrote in his letter. Rean, it would seem you found yourself in a most dire situation. That sounds familiar. Even so, I believe you will overcome these obstacles blocking your path. I believe you can persevere despite all your struggles. I have therefore decided to avoid Ymir and keep myself hidden, that I may pass you this message through Cassius. There is, after all, a high possibility of you happening upon your fellow disciple for the first time in the midst of these turbulent days. Though you have already reached the intermediate level, I am certain you are yet capable of more. You have been, ever since the moment you mastered the formidable ogre within you. All you require now is proof. To earn it, you will need to conquer yourself. Only when you succeed will you be promoted, as is our tradition. Master Kafai, this is a lot to take in. How exactly am I supposed to conquer myself? The two may not be entirely comparable, but I remember hearing from Victor that you bore witness to a challenge not unlike this one 2 months ago. Oh. That's right, between his lordship and Principal Le Guin. Behind that single strike you saw was an infinite number of possible outcomes playing out within our minds. I believe Countess Le Guin was trying to confirm herself just how far she has mastered her blade. In that sense, I was akin to a mirror, perfectly matching her stroke for stroke. I see. So he is I and I am him. Come quite far as it is, if you already understand that much. Sword. That sword. That is not the sword you once wielded. Indeed, my blade has long since been thrown aside. I borrowed the sword from a former subordinate, one who also followed the path of the Eight Leaves. Despite not being a direct disciple, he nevertheless possesses an instinct greater than my own. I see. How very curious. Interesting. He must mean Colonel Richard of the Royal Army, or ex-colonel since the coup attempt. I hear he started a private research firm post-pardoning. Interesting. I'll soon be changing the form as changing the form you perceive me as. You will then see me as which you fear most deeply. I'm sure you can imagine what that may be. Yes, I can. But I know what I have to do. I have to confront this here and now. I'm ready to face the challenge before me, Cassius Bright, my fellow disciple. Nobly spoken, Rean Schwarzer. I, Victor Arcade, will be honored to stand as your witness.
We will begin the trial of the Eight Leaves, One Blade. Let us see if you are worthy. What is your name?
Rean Schwarzer, an intermediate level disciple of the Eight Leaves One Blade School.
Which form will you demonstrate mastery of?
The seventh form, Void, the nothingness that contains all.
He is I, and I am him.
I am him, and he is I.
Will you offer yourself to him to reach the peak of swordsmanship?
No, I will exist alongside him. We will be as one. The sword I seek is that of the Void, the gleaming blade that illuminates the darkness.
Then show me the light at the end of your journey. Show me by conquering yourself.
The curse.
Now begin the trial of the Divine Blade, the peak of the Eight Leaves.
Okay, Persona 4. Haven't played it.
Move.
Completion requirements. Show mastery of all crafts to reach the peak of swordsmanship. No orders, no items, of course.
Crimson Slash! I'm up! Cut through! Disappear! It's my turn! Arcane Dam! Ha! Despair! Die! Let's go! Roar! Healing strike! Die!
Epiphany.
All right, got it.
You can now use the S-Craft Breaking Dawn.
Can't lose. Eternally flow. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8 leaves, breaking dawn.
Pretty cool S-Craft. So an attack utilizing all 7 forms. Neat. Sadly, he doesn't have crafts for all 7 forms.
Ha ha! Well done.
The duel is over. The victor is Rean Schwarzer.
And then we get into an actual duel, and he just whoops Rean's ass. Interesting test, though. You've come a long way, young Rean. Thank you, Lieutenant General. I finally understand what my master was trying to teach me. I can feel it, body and soul. The 8 Leaves is more than just a technique of tradition. It has to come from within you. Precisely. You've proven yourself more than ready. I will now read the scroll Master enclosed in his letter.
Rean Schwarzer, you have mastered the techniques of the 8 Leaves One Blade School. You are granted the title Divine Blade. You may now take on disciples of your own.
I accept. Though on second thought, I'm not so sure I really deserve being called a Divine Blade. Marius and I have both walked upon this very same path. Will be the Master's last direct disciple. It is up to you how you accept the responsibility of the title bestowed upon you. I see. Then in that case, I wholeheartedly accept. I feel most privileged to have been present for this moment. I suspect the others will agree with my sentiment. Huh? Now he just has to enter that one state that he was able to acquire when he fought Crow back in Cold Steel 2, and have that on permanently. Congratulations on your promotion. That move was incredible, even if I barely followed along. The way you wielded your sword was a sight unlike any other. It certainly was. I could hardly take my eyes away from you. You finally made it, Rean. What you did was inspiring beyond words. Well, when did all of you get here? Must have really been in the zone back there. Ain't you supposed to be good at sensing people's presences or whatever? Guess you was too focused to notice little or less. I guess so. Thank you, everyone. All of you. I wouldn't have made it this far without your help. You deserve it, Rean. Sigh. Warms my heart to see you grow like this. So, should we start calling you Divine Blade Schwarzer now instead of the Ashen Chevalier? They'll certainly need a spiffer moniker than that. Along the lines of Divine Blade of Wind, perhaps. Well, Divine Blade of Void, right? I don't know about all that just yet. Come on, man, drop the humble swagger up for once. The Divine Blade of Ash, maybe? Is that too obvious? I'm not sure Ash himself would like that very much. What about the Divine Blade of Light? He does light up our lives, after all. Oh, how about the Divine Blade of Dawn? The 7th form was Void, right? Let's call him the Divine Blade of Zero. That actually sounds pretty cool. They all seem more than satisfactory to me. Well, I, for one, don't very much appreciate him barreling ahead me like this to begin with. So, does it really matter? It's not like we'll call him anything different in the end. That's exactly right. To us, Rean will always be Rean. Congratulations, Rean. I'm proud of you. Rean's friends and colleagues congratulated him as he thanked them for their support. Lieutenant General Bright and Viscount Arpsade then returned to patrolling Michelin for the night. I can now use S-Craft Breaking Dawn. Yay. Tax. That reminds me. Joshua and the others told me all about this Vantage Masters game. I've just assembled a deck myself, and I'm looking for an opponent to test it out on. Maybe you'd like to play a round or two with me if you get the chance. A military strategist would certainly make for an interesting opponent. Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm not all that confident I'll be much of a match for you, though. So what I think? You can now play Vantage Masters against Lieutenant General Cassius. I was expecting like an actual fight, but the test was very interesting. Don't expect me to go easy on you. I don't expect you to go easy on me at all. Oh, Paladin. Oh boy.
Now then, shall we begin?
The Paladin is, like, ridiculous. With the right setup. Unfortunately, I don't know the right setup. Eh. Not a great starting hand. And we're already getting fucked. Wow, that's a pretty good card. Deals 4 damage to all enemies. Wait, that's a power 4 card? How the hell is that a power 4 card? Did he use some other card that makes it so it lowers the cost or something? Because that seems busted. And at this point, I'm probably already set to lose. You've seen an ultimate attack with a sword that smooth since Yuri from Tales of Vesperia? It's been so long since I played that game, I honestly don't remember it. Fuck! I hate when I do stupid stuff like that. I meant to heal the shadow. Damn it. But seriously, busted card is busted. Ah, fuck. Oh well. Just plap that on. Okay, he is using a card that makes it so it costs less mana to summon things. Maybe I should use the Paladin. Probably the strategy would be using Bard to lock down his card. But then the issue is every other fucking card on the field. It's so stupid. Because he'll just revive them and then bring them back with their abilities. Well, we're lucky he keeps bringing that thing back. Okay, we can lock it down for a turn. If we can get this. And then we have a chance to win. It was this. You know what? Just for you, I'm gonna click it and just watch it. Let's see. Where is it? Savage Wolf Fury. Man, it's been so long since I played this game. And I didn't even play the enhanced version that has all the characters. Technically, I think that's the PC version, right? Definitive Edition? Man, I miss the Tales series. After watching that. Yeah, your card's not doing shit anymore. This game is over. First try.
You win. I know when I'm beat.
We got Tentarch cards ×3. Tonight is a good night. Let us toast once more the birth of a new divine blade. And a drink, Lieutenant General? Ascending to the next rank is a major junction. It is the start of a new era. We hope that one day we are able to test each other's sword once more. You think Definitive Edition spreads to PS4 as well? Yeah, it was a new console release and all that stuff. So I guess we're just having more fun in Michelin. I have a feeling pretty much all the dialogue is the same, isn't it? Let's see. Now, London took her sweet time figuring out what she wanted to do. I just kind of picked something on impulse, but really got into the Imperial Chronicling team. Yeah, that's the same dialogue as before. But Rean's is here now. Looks like you guys still have a lot of energy left in you, huh? Hard to believe you were running around all day, gathering info on the fortress and Pales. But I'm at least glad the strategy has been finalized, even if it is practically a tightrope walk. Yeah, can't wait for Tales of Arise, right? I think that was the title. An Emerald Amulet. You got this for me? It's just a little thing, but I wanted you to have it. There's no telling what may happen after tomorrow, so I thought you should have an amulet for good luck. I appreciate all the luck I can get. Soldier or no, depending on how things play out with the Great Twilight, I might... I'm sorry, I just killed the mood, didn't I? It's fine. My father's a soldier. I know what it's like to have to wait for someone to come home. But do make sure you come home, Nightheart. I want to see you again. Fiona, I'll be back. I promise you that. I'll hold you to that. If I remember right, these two are officially an item. They make a good match. Fiona's every bit as strong as he is. I've been busy trying to think of what I can do besides just waiting and hoping. So I'm holding a concert in St. Arc tomorrow, with Marquis Hiram's permission, of course. That's a great idea. I'm sure your music will give everyone the courage they need. I certainly hope so. I guess we need to find the few people who change places, huh? Like where's Thomas, for example? He just kind of vanished. That's different. Michelin Wonderland is open from 9 AM until 10:30 PM. The Sky Lantern event takes place on the lakeside beach at 10 PM. Sky Lanterns? I'm guessing those must be the ones floating on the lake. They must send them flying at night to illuminate the night sky. It does sound pretty magical. Goes to show why this theme park is hyped up as the best in all Zumeria. Well, I've mastered the 8 Leaves style, and used up all my tickets. It's a lot for one day. I think I should think of getting some sleep, especially considering what awaits me tomorrow. L2, you can now select Call It a Day with L2 plus X from the Arcus 2 menu. The story will progress if you select this option. If you accepted invitations or promised to meet someone, special events will take place. Okay, so invitations are actually separate from other things? I guess we should look around and find the people that we that got moved around. So we'll take a quick last tour of Michelin. Oh, there's a bunch of events over in that room. Let's go up here first. Smaller. Less junk, probably. One event over here. Schmidt. Oh, there you are, Professor. Is there something special about that notebook? Looks like it's seen a few winners, to say the least. It's nothing. Merely checking its contents before I disposed of it to ensure that nothing important was overlooked, you see. It's one of the few relics left by my first disciple, after all. I don't mean it's Franz Reinford's. Even now, it's a treasure trove of ideas. It actually offered an excellent solution for a problem that I had identified. We've already pulled out all the research we can. There's no reason to hold on to what remains. I had thought that our time apart might result in something productive, but that hope appears to have been in vain. I see. Franz Reinford. According to what we saw in the spectral moon mirror, that was just an alias for him. I'll leave it to you to figure out where to go from here. Right, Professor. We'll see what we can do. By the way, if you're not opposed, I'd be grateful if you could hold off on disposing of that notebook. Until we reach a conclusion. With him, I mean. Don't see why not. I doubt I'll be in a position to deal with it tomorrow anyway. Thank you, Professor. Hard to believe it's been 10 years since... I had far higher expectations than this. How disappointing. It looks like he's still bothered by it after all. Seems like you'll finally have to clear things up with him. Okay. Hey, the General told me you reached some kind of crazy milestone. Congratulations. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you to not let this go to your head, right? Right. This isn't the end for me. It's only the beginning. I must admit, seeing two high-level 8 Leaves practitioners going at it lit a fire within me as well. Care to join me for a sparring session, Wallace? I want to work some of that excitement off. Sure, if that's what you want, count me in. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear this from, but don't push yourselves too hard, alright? Divine Blade Schwarzer, eh? It's got a nice ring to it. Thanks. So, that was one part of the pinnacle of the 8 Leaf style. It'll be a sight that I won't forget in this lifetime. You gotta feel the connection with the blade. You gotta overcome yourself. Pretty neat though. Because they use the same style, mimicking one's actions as a Divine Blade should be fairly easy, right? At least for someone as experienced as a Divine Mustache. Oh, so you're still in here? Leave. I'm so sorry about my father. He can be so quick-tempered. It's fine. I had it coming anyway. That's what I get for putting it off for so long. Huh? What do you mean? Well, I was thinking. I mean, if everything goes right tomorrow, if we both make it through okay, maybe I should finally introduce myself to your family. You know, do it right this time. This promotion couldn't have come at a better time. Yeah, I agree. It's a, tremendous moment. If we both make it through okay, maybe I should finally introduce myself to your family. You know, do it right this time. You don't mean it. Or do you mean it? Listen, we got a hard road ahead of us, but there's no one I'd rather walk it with than you, Mary. I feel the same way, Makarov. Wow, I'm glad I got to be here for this. I've been rooting for them ever since I was a student. It's great to see them... Eh? I don't know why, but I've been hearing knockings around my house. Dang microphone always being in the way of me breathing. Better. Some happiness in all this chaos. That's basically all I caught from that last line of dialogue. Makarov, thank you for talking to my father. I don't know if I'll make much of a wife, but I'll be glad to have you as my fiancé. Oh, shucks. Let's worry about all that after we make it through tomorrow. Oh, here's where Thomas ended up. Good evening. Looks like you fine fellows are having a splendiferous time. How about we take this opportunity to help strengthen the bonds of our friendship? What say you? Nine told me about this. You really do pester people when you're sloshed, huh? Didn't you used to be an instructor at Thor's main campus? Anyway, would you mind not breathing on me like that? You reek of liquor. Now, don't be like that. Come on, don't be so cold. I brought snacks and I'm willing to share. Oh boy, we all know Instructor Thomas is a happy drunk at least. Now, which of you gentlemen gets the pleasure of sitting next to me? Him. You'll just have to take turns then. Check out the beach. Unfortunately, we don't have more people to spend time with, but, Oh hey, Anton finally met Sharon. What of you, huh? Never would have guessed we'd reunite on a night like this one. It certainly is lovely. Though we have been keeping correspondence, I believe it's been about a year since we last met face to face. You invited me to tea and gave such a thoughtful gift back then. You remembered? Why, of course I remember. You're the one to teach me what beautiful form love could take. How could I ever forget? Well, you know, I was just a youngster back then, that's all. Come on, Anton, you're enjoying this way too much. I love Sharon, really. She may have rejected me, but there's something I need to tell her while I can. I do wonder, why did you choose to come so far as Erebonia now? This may sound presumptuous, but could it be that you came here to see me? No, you got it all wrong. Well, actually, I mean, not all wrong. You don't know how much joy it brings me that you travel all this way for me. But, as I already told you in my letters, you should utterly forget about me. I'm not the person you think I am. Wait, but... I'm sorry I haven't told you this before. My life is one that's shrouded in darkness. The way I conduct myself and the way I love with selflessness is to cover up that part of me. So please, stop this. It's best you never come and see me again. Sharon? Sniff. You don't mean that. Perhaps I should have said all this sooner. No, Sharon, can't you see? My heart aches when I think of yours. The music's changing. Huh? I realized something. In your final letter, I got the feeling you were trying to push back your own emotions. Under all that kindness, you harbor a terrible sorrow. It's weighed you down for a very long time, I believe. And that's why I had to tell you this one thing. You've had troubles in your life, and maybe you've lost hope in yourself. But I believe in you. Your experiences have made you who you are, someone who makes everyone around her smile. Sorry, maybe I overstepped there, but I really need to get that off my chest. I feel much better now. Anyway, better get going, huh? Promise me you'll take care of yourself, Sharon. Anton, wait. Huh? You took me by surprise, but now allow me to say something in return. I feel that I can finally face both my family and even myself, all because of you. So thank you. I'm ever so grateful that you came to see me. Choke. Cough. Keep that composure up, Anton. Anton? Your face is so red. Perhaps you should take a rest. Ricky, I think I'm in heaven. I only heard bits and pieces of their conversation, but it probably wasn't something I should be listening in on. Still, I'm pretty sure that Sharon feels the same as he does. I'm glad they are reunited before the battle begins. Wholesome. Can't believe it. I actually get to spend some more time with Sharon. It all feels like a dream. I hope I won't have to wake up from it anytime soon. Oh, that reminds me. Olivier, the guy who invited me, gave me this. You can have it. I already had plenty of fun. Oh, hey, another Wonderland ticket. Okay, if you're sure. Thanks. Of course, go ahead and enjoy yourselves. Can't believe this is finally happening. But what am I supposed to talk about? I know. Sharon, would you like to hear about my travels? It's nothing all that special, but... Oh, don't say that, Anton. I'd love to hear about some of the things you've seen and done on the road. Oh, well, that's great. Okay, so there was this time I was hanging out in the capital of the Pearl, and... Wow, really? Yeah, and I had no idea at the time, but it turned out... Looks like Sharon and Anton are actually hitting it off. And now these two are drinking together. Still, can you believe you finally obtained the title of Divine Blade? A student that any teacher would be proud of. I've only been able to come this far thanks to your instruction and guidance. Well, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Anyway, just try and focus on using your remaining time in a meaningful way. Same to you, instructor. I gotta say, though, I think Sherazard might actually be invincible. If the pace is right for her, she can just drink and drink and drink. Drinking competitions are nice, but when you really take your time, it's truly divine. Oh wait, we never talked to Freddy over here. Hey Freddy, how's it going? What's this mouth-watering smell? Oh, this here, instructor? It's shellfish, freshly picked from the beach and steamed to perfection. I mixed in some succulent freshwater beetles too to add some extra zest to the recipe, you know? Want some? Sounds like a classic Freddy dish. I shot him down every time he's offered me one of his creations. I better try one so I don't hurt his feelings. Okay, serve me up. Now we're talking. Freddy served up a helping of his novelty cuisine, which Rean shoved into his mouth with commendable bravery. It's a peculiar taste, but it really grows on you. Freddy's cooking isn't bad as long as you just blank out, well, everything that goes into it. Thanks, Freddy. It really was delicious. I'm amazed you could put together a first-class meal in this setting. Aw, you're making me blush, instructor. I'm glad you liked it. Rean recovered 200 CP. Oh wow, really? Makes me happy to see people enjoy my cooking. And since I got your seal of approval, I'll also rid to Pavel and the other guys next. It's weird. Okay, so only people that have moved around actually have new dialogue, it seems. I guess we'll invite somebody else on the Ferris wheel. Probably somebody from, Actually, I have no idea who I would invite. Who to invite indeed. Can you make a suggestion? Shoot! Why not? I have no strong opinions one way or another. I wasn't expecting you to get another ticket. Oh, hey! We only have one ticket, though. First, I need to see the list. Huh? Margarita, when did you change? Oh, I got a little peckish, so I nibbled on a cereal bar I brought along. Would you like a bite? Oh, no, thank you, I'm alright. Such a peaceful night, isn't it? My, how cold, I can feel my lips drying out already. Did the look dry to you, Vincent? Take a good, close look. Is she asking me to kiss her? Why, oh, why did she have to take a nibble of that cereal bar? No, how could I be so callous? Love is blind, is it not? Despite her appearance, Margarita is still my darling Margarita. I'm sure he'll figure it out eventually. Vincent, compose yourself, gather your nerve. I know full well that Margarita is a smart, good-hearted, passionate woman. So why must I waver so? Why would I be this indecisive if she were... Would I be this indecisive if she were in her slim form? Am I really so superficial? Yes. Oh, Vincent, do my lips look dry to you? Anybody new in here? Oh, hey. Big group. Hey, sorry I'm late. Look what I ran into on my way over, though. Hi, everyone. I didn't know you'd all be wandering the park together. That's alright. We are planning on taking a look around as a foursome. Of course, you're welcome to join us, Elliot. I mean, the Arkansas's performance rap party has been kind of put off after all. I hope you'll join us. Ferris and I couldn't be there for her rehearsal, so we'd love to hear all about working with them. Well, sure, I'd be happy to. Also, I was actually planning a little performance of my own later. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. That sounds wonderful. There's nothing like music to lift one's spirits. Yeah, and lifting spirits is what tonight's for. I'll lift the audience spirits so high they'll rip right out of their bodies. That might not be quite as soothing as we're hoping for, Mints. Count me in too. This sounds like it'll be fun. It's nice to see all of them laughing and smiling together. One thing bothers me though. Did Min say she just ran into Elliot? I'm pretty sure she told me she was planning to meet up with him. Well, as long as they're having fun. It'll be fun to see them all perform together again. I can't wait. Anyway, let's enjoy the attractions. It's been a while since we got together with the others like this. I think I'll try to catch up with them while we're having fun. Oh, I know. If we invite Instructor Mary, it'll be a whole wind orchestra reunion. But she's talking with Uncle Makarov right now. I wonder how that's going. Guess I'll have to ask her when she's done. Or maybe you should just let her be. I really wanted the girls to have a place where they could just be girls and have fun. But well, it is just Elliot. Elliot's been friendly with the girls ever since we were outdoors. I'm honestly glad they let him have a place in their group. I'm afraid I missed Arkansas's performance, so I'm especially looking forward to tonight. I imagine the performance will be even more stunning in the light of the full moon. I can't wait to see it for myself. We came to a sort of conclusion on the matter Bridget needed advice on. We're thinking that the five of us should go around together. I also want to hear more about Elliot's adventures on tour. He's been doing these impromptu performances in churches all over the Empire. I'm sure he has all sorts of stories to share. And I'm just going to fast travel right to the Ferris wheel. Oh, these two. Ah, what a wonderful evening. The cheering of the crowd at the Mishi really makes this place feel alive. You're not fooling anyone, you know. While I appreciate that you're pacing yourself on the drinking, you're still clearly on edge. Can you blame me? The fate of the world rests entirely on our actions tomorrow. A small case of worry is only natural. It is, but you're not worried about tomorrow. You're worried about your plan for tonight. Sigh. I should have known trying to hide it would be folly. Of course you would see through me. You've been my bosom friend for over 20 years. Against my better judgment, clearly. Well, do whatever you feel you must. I'll be sure to drink a toast to your memory. You say that as if you don't believe I'll succeed. What's all this about? Something must be going down tonight. And what of you, Mueller? Did you manage to contact Liberl? I know you must be worried with the connection to Mille Mirage and everything. No, she's strong. She'll be fine. My father, my stepmother, even Kurt. We all have to walk our own paths. Oh, we all have our own paths. As a fellow Vander, I'll follow mine as well. I intend to stand shoulder to shoulder with you tomorrow until the very end. Until the very end. Alright then. Let us drink one final toast. To the moon, and to Mishi. Very well. To the moon, and to Mishi. Well, not about to interrupt a moment like that. I'll leave them be. How's this going? It's all the same. Slight disappointment. Okay. Well, anyway, because all that's done, here's a list of all the people. Yeah, anybody can enjoy it. We should probably stick to somebody that we would get a bonus from, So that would be Yuna, Elliot, Laura, Machias, Emma, Fee, Gaius, Alphen, and Elise. Go on, you make the choice. Gaius? Oh, Wind. Rean contacts his chosen companion on the Arcus 2. They use the special tickets to go on the Ferris wheel together. Whee! We're not at the top yet, but it's still an impressive view. I hope I'll be able to bring my siblings here one day. Yeah, I want to bring my parents here too. I really hope I get that chance. Neither of us can go back, but I'll always have a place I call home in my heart. It isn't just Nordreen. It's with my friends and you, of course. I feel the same way. Thank you, Rean. I had a great time tonight. We'll have some great stories to tell when we return home. You're right. Let's do our best to write that tale. I'm counting on you, Gaius. Hey, how's it going, Dance? Wasn't there... And also, Chessmaster, wasn't there concept art of, I think, it was like somebody from Nord that we didn't know, and everybody basically suspected it was one of Gaius's brothers, like his younger brother, that we saw like once or twice in Cold Steel 1 and 2. The car gently lowered to the ground when the ride ended after offering them a spectacular view. Once on the ground, they both had other things to attend to. Bond with Gain strengthened, and let's hear his monologue. You're good, Dans? I'm pretty good. I get to relax because I don't celebrate Christmas, which means I just get to sleep in and only worry about playing video games. Afterward, Rean decided to walk back with Gaius. They enjoyed the night air along the way, stretching out the evening as long as they could until... Bro moment.
You know, Rean, thinking back on it, it really is amazing how far the both of us have come.
Yeah, I've been thinking just the same. Tomorrow, everything will finally come to an end.
I owe you a lot, Rean. For everything. These wings I've been granted weigh heavily on me. Sometimes, it felt as though I could barely stand. But knowing I had all of my friends behind me, and you, most of all, was just the second wind I needed to stay my course.
Has he said wind twice so far? I'm going to count the number of times he says wind in this conversation. So, we're at 1.
And so, I swear, not as the Soaring Phoenix, but as Gaius Warzel,
I have a feeling we're going to stay at 1.
Thor's Military Academy, Class 7, I will protect this world to my dying breath. For Nord and for the Empire. I won't leave your side, Rean, no matter what peril we face.
Thank you, guys. You don't know how much stronger that makes me feel. Don't make it a drinking contest. Yeah, play Cold Steel. I remember there was like a Cold Steel 1 and 2 drinking game with like all the repetitive tropes that it uses. Including anytime Gaius mentions wind. Oh, did I read that? Thank you, guys. You don't know how much stronger that makes me feel. Let's make it through to the end together.
Yes. We will be the gale that stops death itself in its tracks.
Does that count because gale is a type of wind? Rean and Gaius' bond deepened, they both became stronger, and I get myself a Firebird Cairn. Let's see. What does that do? It is accuracy, evasion, auto CP up. Are you serious? That's stupid. I honestly don't know what to give him. Because that auto CP up is just amazing. Yeah, he doesn't need all that speed. Bam. Alright, I guess it's time to turn in. Still have 2 people we haven't fought in that. Let's turn these in. 70% completion. You knew you made the right choice. There. So we're at like 70% completion for a lot of this stuff. Oh yeah, we completed a quest, didn't we?
I see. Good work, everyone. Now then.
Alright, time to have our romantic event. Our canonical romantic event. Via Falcom's choice. It's the story they want. Ormill? Now? Claire. I'll be waiting at the wetlands. CR. Could be a trap. Maybe I should just ignore it. You can end the free evening from the L2 action menu. Oh. Okay. Let's go meet Claire and see how she's doing. I wasn't expecting an extra person. I'll be waiting in the wetlands, CR. What should I do? It could be a trap. It has to be her, but why now? I don't want to make everyone worry, so I'll just go on my own. Rean! Stop taking the burdens all on yourself. I'm sure Yuna would like to come along. Sup? Ah. She has her new Ironblood outfit on.
So you came after all.
Yeah, I know all about it now. What's with the outfit? Oh, this? I wasn't sure about it at first either. But it's a uniform for the Knights of Blood and Iron. I feel a little embarrassed wearing this thing, to be honest. Oh no, I think it suits you. It's really flattering. Wait, what am I saying? So I take it this means you're done with the RMP? Yes, now that Operation Jormungand is ready, the RMP will be obsolete. I'll be joining up with Governor General Rufus, Prince Cedric, Lecter, and the others tomorrow. We'll all be mobilizing on board Tuatha De Danann. I see. I'm sorry, Rean. I couldn't change after all. I set up this meeting so we could see each other one last time. Claire. Don't go easy on me now. As an Ironblood, I have a duty to apprehend you. I could force you to go where the upcoming rivalries will be taking place. Likewise, you have an opportunity to incapacitate one of your enemy's pawns. I hope you're not going to pass it up. Either way, we both have a lot to gain, don't you think? You may be right. But I still haven't given up on you. How can you possibly say that? I had you come here alone. I could have easily been planning an ambush. Please give me some credit. I would have sensed if anyone else was here, if there was anyone else here besides us. I mean, Rean has said that people have evaded his senses before. You came here alone, same as me. You didn't want Lecter or one of your other allies interfering, right? Besides, even if I wasn't able to sense a sneak attack coming, I know you wouldn't pull that kind of trick. That's not the Claire Reeveld I know. Nobody bears a grudge against you, not me, or Milliam, or Altina, or Yuna. Everyone in the old Class 7, even Sarah would be happy to have you back on our side. There's no going back now. It won't change no matter what kind of front you put on, or how much you try to resist us. I'm sure it's the same for your brother and Major Irving. We all care about you so much. We'll never give up on you.
Stop it! How can you be so cruel? I stood by and let Milliam die. I'm still going along with the Great Twilight. Don't you dare forgive me. If you don't hate me, how am I supposed to?
Come on now, Claire. You know that isn't fair.
That rhymes. William, you're here. Yeah, I saw you sneaking out. I got used to the stand down while I came on my own to check things out. Should have known you were just going to meet a lovely lady. Ooh, and speaking of that, your outfit is so cool, Claire. Right? How? My body may be gone, but my spirit lives on in the sword. And thanks to the Steel Maiden, I can walk around outside it again. Didn't Campanello tell you? Well, I guess he's not the type to share. Milliam, it's really you. So glad. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. Sigh. I'm really bad at this stuff. I really need to work on my social skills, huh? Milliam,
I'm not gonna make a mistake like that again. Even with what's happened, I'm still an Ironblood. I've gotta look out for you, too. Tomorrow, we'll finally settle things once and for all. With you, Lecter, Rufus, Gramps, and that newbie Prince, too. Me and Rean will get through to you guys.
she's right. We'll see you tomorrow. Regardless of Jormungand or Mille Mirage, I promise that as a member of the Radiant Wings. Just have patience until then.
All right, if you insist. I'll be waiting for you. That's my promise as a knight and guardian of the Great Twilight and a pawn of the rivalries. When next we meet, I won't show any mercy.
Okay. We'll come at you with everything we got. Rean received his Tachi and something else. Sorry, I didn't mean to waste so much of your time on an important night like this. But I'm really happy I got to see you. Thank you, Rean. You too, Milliam. Yeah, same here. Claire. Ooh, that's a pretty fancy airship she came on. I wonder if it's one of those high-speed RMP dealies. Man, I wish I could have come along and checked it out. I bet it make for one heck of a joyride. If only things were that easy. For now, just seeing her face again is enough for me. We'll set everything right tomorrow. Yep, you bet we will. Meeting in secret like this was pretty fun, huh? I won't deny that, but we should be getting back. Roger. Obtain Kaleido hearts from Claire. Note added, Claire 1. There it is. And that is accuracy 100, crit rate 5%, and enemies drop more Sepith. A necklace with a rainbow jewel on it, received from Major Claire. Well, time to call it a day, for reals this time. Calling it a day will make the story progress. If you have accepted invitations or promised to meet someone, special events will take place. Please note that all quests and sub-quests you have yet to complete will disappear. We all know what we're getting into. Please be fully voiced. Before long, the festivities started to come to a close. Those who attended readied themselves and to head back to the hotel. After parting ways with everyone else, Rean found himself wandering toward the pier with no particular purpose in mind. Wow, you can see just about everything from here. The Courageous 2, the Merkabahs, the Bobcat, even the Pantagruel. And across from it all, Crossbell City and the blinding lights of Orcus Tower. Celebration's going to be over soon. Everyone's probably heading back to their rooms. I'll need to make a decision soon. Should I ask her to meet again? Or should I stop myself, assuming the worst of my fate tomorrow?
Oh, what a wonderful breeze.
That sounds like...
Wow, this is an amazing view.
Gonna get closure on this little relationship?
I can see Mishalam, the Pantagruel, and even Crossbell City. Bringing me here to sober up. My, you really know how to show a girl a good time.
Oh, it's nothing like that. I simply got the idea when we landed here this evening. More to the point, I had anticipated your inevitable inebriation, my dear Shara.
You really do know me. This is nice. I miss those days when we were able to share drinks together. But you've been doing a fantastic job ever since coming back to the Empire. Though they call you debaucherous prince, you never let it get to you. You've been there for your family. Hell, the whole Empire.
Well, I've never been without people supporting me. Mueller, my parents, Alphen, Class 7, the Viscount, the Erebonian Bracers. I can't forget Lloyd's team, and, of course, Estelle and Joshua. But most of all, you.
No, I couldn't do a thing to help you. Sure, I held on to the artifact for you and acted as a liaison. But I couldn't stop the Courageous from being destroyed. I couldn't keep you safe. I'm sorry, Olivier. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. It must have been painful. You've suffered so much.
Now that you're here, all that pain is but a distant memory. We'll be there tomorrow. Together. That's all that matters.
But... No, you're right. Just leave it to me. The silver streak will light the way for your radiant wings.
I'll be counting on it. And it may not be fair to ask you at a time like this, yet. If we can claim victory in tomorrow's battle and stop the Great Twilight, if we can put out the fires of war and bring peace to this land once more, would you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
Said it. Whoops, didn't mean to invade their privacy there. Still, I knew they were close, but not this close. I guess that incident in Liberl must have really helped bring them together. Can't say for sure if she'll accept his proposal or not, but I really hope she does. I'm rooting for you, Your Highness. What am I saying? I have my own decisions to make right now. Who should I spend my last night with? I mean, we said we'd go with the canonical choice. I'm gonna have to turn Elise down first. This is gonna break her heart. Elise always comes first. Always. Mr. Sister Complex. Lisa!
Rean!
It's not fully voiced. Glad you came. For a moment I thought you weren't going to show.
I'm sorry.
I see. Then you don't...
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you, when all you've done is your best. And I'm only realizing now how stupid I've been acting this whole time.
Elisa? You don't need to think of it like that. You did what you had to. And the sacrifice, Elisa. No one knows how tomorrow might turn out. This might be our last chance to talk. I don't want either of us to have any regrets. That's why I asked you to meet me here.
Rean.
Elisa, I need to tell you how I feel.
Wait. Please, let me say it first. This time, for real. I'm going to be brave, so please.
They say it was because his Japanese voice actor was too expensive, so I don't want to be rude and just let it be Sean to do the voice acting. I mean, XC did it for the Cold Steel 2 PC release. Or re-release. Which sucks, because it's like, if they put in the effort, they could do it. But yeah, I can understand not being rude, but they should do it. It's not disrespectful to the guy that he didn't want to do all the voice acting.
I love you. I know it was selfish of me to go back on my words before. But I can't give you up. I just can't. I want you, Rean. Here, with me.
Lisa. I guess we'll see when it releases on PC. It's Nisa. They're not going to add in the extra voice acting. XE did it as a labor of love. Nisa is doing it as a labor of money. I feel exactly the same. I want to be with you too, Elisa. Quiche. I mean, does Cold Steel 3 have extra voice acting on the PC release? I'm going to guess no. If it did, I'd be surprised.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, almost like a dream.
Rean, I'd like to stay with you tonight. Would that be okay?
Of course. The whole night through until dawn breaks. I just hope Hajimari and the Calvert arc will have, like, solid voice acting all the way through, not having the main character be voiceless when other people are voiced. But yeah. But anyway, Eventide Night of Promises end. And now we begin the literal war chapter. Let's go. I am ready. This is what we've all been waiting for. Bam. The Great War begins. World War I. Early morning, Mishlam. Come on, they totally did it. Hell, it'd be stupid if they didn't. You're right. But, this isn't the correct genre for that type of talk. Yeah, I couldn't give, like, two shits about, like, the romance and stuff. The actual story's where it's at. kind of surprised I went so far with Muse in the first playthrough. If I went so far, you mean just like do the all the intimate bonding events and such? And chose her as one of the decisions or whatever to talk to at Michelin. But either way, when I get to the second playthrough, we're gonna watch every single one. Enough for her to be an option that night. I mean, they give you just enough bonding points throughout all the chapters to be able to do that if you do all the intimate bonding events. So it's not too difficult to hit that point. You just gotta make sure you pick up the presents. Yeah. We'll see all of the non-canonical, or at least as non-canonical as Falcom will probably let it, in the second playthrough. We're gonna have a ton of fun on that playthrough. I'm probably going to leave it on Nightmare, because with some of these items...
time is 05:13 hours.
With some of these items, you can just break Nightmare so easily.
All ships will be in position by 11:45 hours.
I'll probably break Divine Song on the New Game Plus. They say it was really what was really canon was choosing no one.
We've got the Bobcat 2 and the Merkaba, not to mention the Pantagruel landing craft and the Ouroboros ships.
Well, who says that? Does Falcom say that? Whoever's leading the story for this for the Trail series?
Each team will infiltrate their assigned pale. Once the barrier is down, the Courageous 2 will charge the Imperial Fortress.
Yeah, because you can say they. Because what happened was as hilarious as it was anticlimactic? Okay.
If all goes according to plan, it should be 12:30 hours by then.
I guess I'll have to try the no one option as well then, right?
You shouldn't need to worry about interference from the Imperial Air Force, but be vigilant for the Crimson Ark.
That's right. It doesn't appear as though they intend to directly participate in Operation Jormungand.
Agreed. We should all be on our
Oh,
guard.
please do. New Game Plus, baby. Got that to look forward to.
Your lordship, Sharon, Angelica, Duvally.
Rose, Tita, Randy, we're all counting on you.
Got it. The rendezvous with George isn't until after 11, though.
I would like nothing more than to be of use to you. If there's anything at all you require of me, please, don't hesitate to ask.
Same with me. I'll lend you my aid where I can.
I'll be sticking around until you guys meet up, too. But it looks like Lloyd and the others aren't going to be free until the very last minute.
It's the same for Estelle's group, too. I'm going to give this everything I've got, right until the very end. I can go wherever I'm needed. Maintenance, ground patrol, whatever you need.
You young folk can take care of all the preparations. We shall sit back and wait for our turn to arrive.
If you require assistance with tactics, or have questions about the ship's operation, I am prepared to offer my assistance.
Thank you, Father.
You too, Grandmother. But don't get too excited, okay?
Seriously, you have a tendency to get way too worked up. Hey, do not talk to your creator like that!
I know we'll be in good hands.
Shall we get started then?
Yes, this could be our final special ops mission.
Between the Pales, the Imperial Fortress, and the imminent war, anything could happen.
Shit's looking crazy as hell down there.
Yep. We got a number of requests, too.
No.
Best check them out before you forget.
Please, no.
Yeah. Some of them seem pretty important.
Seems like there are a bunch of magic knights and cryptids popping up, too.
No!
At this point, it would be best to handle everything all at once, yes?
It seems we'll have a chance to show the world what the Radiant Wings can do.
Good luck, everyone.
We'll be supporting you from here the whole time.
Got it. We'll be counting on you. Okay, Class 7. Our final batch of Special Ops missions begins now. Let's be the flashing blade that illuminates the darkness. Together, we'll light the path ahead for the world. We're all going to have to work together to make this happen. The deadline is 1100 hours. We'll need to finish everything up by then. May Adios be with us. Let's go, Class 7!
Right!
Finale. Scattered petals, dying flames. Got our full group here, ready to go. We're of course bringing Laura because we turned her into our local nuclear bomb. And then the rest is up to debate. Elisa's probably someone we should bring along. Honestly, I don't know who else to bring in this case. This is like, we have one more slot and I don't really know who to bring. Can you choose? Sure, go ahead and choose once again. Is it going to be Gaius again? Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably not going to use them. Elliot? Oh yeah, Elliot is a cool dude. We haven't used him in a while, too. The situation in Western Erebonia has changed completely. You can now explore Stargazer's Tower. Without Millium's orders. If Yus is in your party, Millium's Brave Order white decoration will be available. Oh, neat. Your weapons and armor can now be purchased in all areas. Thanks for waiting, Rean, and sorry about being so abrupt. The final volume of the Black Records, deciphered at long last. So you're finished? Thank you for being so diligent with this. Let me tell you, this volume had some very intriguing things written in it. But I think it'd be best for you to read it for yourself. I'll transfer everything to your Arcus 2 at once. I cannot thank you enough, Thomas. You can now read the Black Records. I mean, we might as well. Black Records, 13. At Twilight's End, year 1206. After the twilight falls across the land, two great factions will rise. One will be the World Serpent, a voracious steel dragon with 7 maws. It will seek to crush the world in its fangs and devour it. The other will be the Haze of 1,000 Flames. It will attempt to beguile the great dragon, entangling it and lopping off its heads one by one. Those shining wings will take to the sky once more. Their light alone will be too dim to drive back the coming dusk. The Holy Maiden's fall will herald the appearance of the false Pales and the Fortress of the End. Soon thereafter, the world will be plunged into darkness of night. This fate is absolute. Addendum. It should be noted that the contents of this book are the result of a phase engine that examines and records the flow of causality. The ruinous end of this tale, born from the clash between the Crimson Vessel and the Great Sablehammer, is clear. However, there may exist horizons yet unseen, shifts in the currents of causality that cannot be predicted, a new outcome triggered by the illogical ripples humanity creates. Having noted this small possibility, the role of this recording, which spans 1,206 years, starting from the first generation of the Arner family, now comes to a close. May fortune favor humanity. Causality Recording Engine 03, Azoth. Neat. So our requests are Ulster Harvest Festival. From Sandy. Ulster didn't get to hold its Harvest Festival this year, but I figure there's still time to put something together. Idios knows the people here could use an excuse to celebrate and forget about their troubles. If you can help out, that'd be awesome. Hit me up at Sunny Spot Inn in Ulster for more info. Sandy. Saving Officer Allen. I'm worried about Allen. He put in a transfer request so he could go straight to the front lines and be closer to fighting. It's like he's a completely different person now. Nothing I say seems to get through to him. I hate to admit it, but I can't save him on my own. Meet me at the boathouse in Crossbell and we'll talk more. Bridget. Einhell Keep Monster. Powerful archaism has been spotted at Einhell Keep in Leaves. Monster Sneak Gunner G48C. Location I now keep. We should be able to handle on our own, but we'll have to act quickly. Those are our quests. All this stuff is new. I should do Alan first. Well, let's do the trial chest first, actually. Rean, Muse, Emma, and Duvali. I should just get that out of the way right now. Rean, Muse, Emma, and Duvie.
This looks like a good spot to take a break.
You said it, Machias, not me. I'm not stopping. It's not even that late yet. Trial chest. What is going to upgrade in Rean's arsenal? Divine Song or Gold Dragon? Let's see. It's gotta be for Divine Song.
What a passionate foe!
Acerbic Tomatarian G, Nauseating Tomatarian D, and Saturine Tomatarian A. Neat. You know, we get Midnight Onyx.
Midnight Onyx!
More speed is always good.
Yeah.
Acerbic Tomatarian G, larger and much more bitter than the rest of its kind. Its juices work like muscle relaxants, immobilizing foes.
Very well. Yeah.
Saturine Tomatarian A. Unusually large for its kind, its overwhelming sweetness shocks the nervous system and makes one drool uncontrollably.
My duty calls.
Nauseating Tomatarian D. Much too big for anyone's comfort, its juices are rumored to resemble poison used in ancient Sumeria.
It's my turn! Roar! Helix now!
I've got you. Very well.
Dang it. Why can't I do what I want?
Strike! Attack! I'm going. Yeah.
They really want to hit Rean.
I'm going.
I don't know what he's going to do. Bitter bounce.
My duty calls. I'm going. Yes.
What are they even weak to? Water, 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 water.
Arcus activate.
Let's go! Come through now!
I've got you. There. Very well.
It's my turn! Damn! Ah, now!
I've got you. It's my turn. Yeah. I can manage things for the help. I'm going. Arcus, activate. My duty calls. Yes! Arcus activate!
Can nab that critical turn. We'll also hit 200 CP as well.
I'm going!
Finally a miss.
Here I go! Hiya! Strike! Attack! Yeah!
Easy.
Oh, what a relief! I did it!
Palace of Agarian 2. And the upgrade is for... Divine Song is now Dark Moon. And I'm guessing the upgrade is the duration. No. Increased arts attack. And I am perfectly fine with that. Now let's see, this one is Yuna, Ash, Elliot, and Randy. It's gonna run right in there. What's the worst that could happen? Alright, Yuna. Upgrade Sledgehammer.
Watch out! This is a tough one.
Ooh. That's all it is?
I got this.
He won't be in range that way. Alright. I'll just move you over here so everyone can get it.
Nuh-uh.
Damn it!
Are you okay?
Thanks.
Yeah!
Shining.
Now, analyzing enemy unit. Analysis complete.
Starless Knight. A young knight consumed by darkness seeking greater power. Now merely a shadow fighting without a purpose. Weak to wind.
Here I go!
But what does that matter when we're just going to beat the crap out of him?
Go berserk! Infernal Hunt! Got it! Try this on! Now's our chance!
They're mine!
My turn. Now. It's down!
Keep it up!
Aha!
Let's bring out the big guns! Focusing energy.
I don't know if you've seen this one before. I can't remember. So I'll watch it anyway.
Not done yet! Go! Valiant fire!
Not bad.
My turn.
That's a weird line. I'm expecting a status effect, so...
Arcus activate.
Soul Eater. Nope, just a crap ton of damage. Okay.
We appreciate it!
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's just gonna keep getting worse and worse, huh?
Resonate. Sapphiril Symphony. Now.
What the hell is this delay? Why does normal Crest have a 6 delay, whereas La Crest, the better version of it, has a longer delay? What is this?
There!
My turn!
Nope.
You're done. Eat this! Now's our chance!
They're mine!
My turn. Arcus activate! Ha!
Nuh-uh!
My turn.
It's my turn!
There!
My turn.
Nope.
You're mine! Yeah!
Keep it up!
You're weak!
Eh?
Gotta go fast.
My turn!
Go berserk! Infernal hunt!
My turn! Try this on. You're off guard!
They're mine!
Now!
Weak to wind.
Arcus activate!
Here I go! Then let's get him!
Gotcha! Sure. Now.
Huh!
Here I go! Arcus activate!
Here I go!
My turn! Arcus activate! Are you okay?
Thanks.
There!
Eh?
Huh!
Oh,
All right!
dumb of me. Oh well.
Go berserk!
It's mine! Wide open!
Gotcha! Sure. Now.
Here I go! Try this on. You're off guard!
They're mine!
There we go.
No problemo.
Nice.
Sacred Mirror.
Yay!
Yeah.
I did it!
He got Nocturne Bell 2, Higher Chance of Nightmare, and Remedy Fantasia 2. Don't know what the upgrade is about, but doesn't matter. Sledgehammer is now Warhammer. 40k. The break damage duration is increased from 4 turns to 6 turns. Alright, let's go back to the Courageous and talk with everybody. And flip our party back to who we plan on using. Yeah, that was our team. Yes, everyone has got a new order. I think we're missing one. Yeah, we're missing Gold Dragon here. But everybody else is perfectly set. Finally come to visit. But I feel like it won't be long before you'll take up your sword and leave again. Know that I'll use all I've learned to support you and your friends. Please, thank you. Well, I did want to contact Father and Ymir again. I understand the situation you're in, but I need you to make me a promise. You have to survive and return to Ymir. Please. You know, I'm not taking this lightly. It's a complicated situation. Alright, I promise. I'll win these rivalries and return to everyone safe and sound. That's why I need you to hold the fort here. Of course. Please lead the Courageous and Ymir to me while you're gone. And remember, you promised me you'd come home safe. Once the special ops missions have finished, we'll be moving straight into the final battle. Please be careful, Rean. And if you could see that Cedric comes out of the safe, Your Highness, you have my word I'll do all I can. I don't know how to put it, but your presence alone brings reassurance to the people around you. I ask that you lend your reassurance and your support to everyone staying behind in the Courageous 2, especially Prince Oliver. Of course, I'll do whatever is in my power to assist them. I'm sure I'll pitch in quite a bit as an operator, and if push comes to shove, I'll have my orbital staff and arts to fall back on as well. You've really come into your own, Your Highness. I'll do all that's in my power to assist the others. I'm sure I'll pitch in quite a bit, and yeah. You too. Hey Rean, did you sleep well? Today's the day. Come smiles or tears, the fighting will begin. I hope you're not going to tell me you couldn't sleep last night. Perish the thought, I slept like a baby. So did the two of them end up? Stop prying, Rean, it's rude. You're off in another world there, my friend. Can't help but notice how well connected you are, Rean. Did one of your connections send you to bed with a goodnight kiss? I wonder. Something like that. Well, is that so? I thought maybe you'd been inspired by the passions of a certain steamy couple you see. Sorry to disappoint, but nope. His Highness must have noticed me watching them last night. Wait, Olivia, are you talking about us right now? Interpret my words as you will, my dear Shara. No matter what direction things go, I'm just glad they get along so well. Your Highness, I'd like to thank you for helping us all make such precious memories last night. I'm looking forward to continuing to serve under your command in Operation Shining Steel. The pleasure is all mine, Rean. Sigh. Now that I've regained my composure, it's time to make our final war preparations. See to it you can head into battle without any regrets. If you need anything, we'll be pitching in too. Thanks a ton, both of you. To carry out Operation Shining Steel, talk to Oliver and select Wait for the operation to begin. It's time now for the final preparations. Work hard so that you won't have any regrets. We'll be pitching in if you need anything. The details of the operation have thus been confirmed. We're now waiting to commence. But until then, we have no idea what could happen in the meantime. We shall take an overview of the situation from here. Hello guys, Lieutenant Colonel. Is this a strategy meeting? It's nothing as formal as that, really. We're merely reviewing what other parties are participating in Operation Shining Steel. Aside from our forces within Erebonia, there's also the Bracer Guild and the former Crossbelt Police Department. Gaius is Growl Sorter as well, of course. It's no real surprise that people from disparate groups would be taking action in a time of crisis. I doubt any of this would have been possible without Prince Oliver. He has a real way with people. Even Father Kevin said he owed you and the Prince a debt of gratitude. He probably means when we lent him a hand to deal with Phantasma. Kevin Graham. I've looked over the dossier and the intelligence division has on him. He's a Growl Sorter who helped out during the Liberal Orbital shutdown and the Crossbow incident, right? Prince Oliver sure does have a wide network of acquaintances. We have his absurd charge into Liberal to thank for that. Still, I don't regret standing by him. Maybe a little mercurial, but he's proved himself worthy of my trust time and again. Though I would never let that frivolous fool hear me say that. You're one of the only people I know who's willing to hold the Prince to account, Lieutenant Colonel. I guess it's just proof of how much you care about him. Setting Olivier's charisma aside, I have no regrets whatsoever about coming here with him. Besides, it seems he was finally able to convey his feelings last night. I'm going to do as I've always done and provide the both of them with whatever protection I can. Wow, I don't think there's a single soul in the world that could damage the trust between His Highness and the Lieutenant Colonel. By the way, Gaius, how's the evacuation of Nord civilians going? From what I heard, everyone finished moving into the relatively safe Highlands yesterday. As for my father and brother, they're both taking part in Operation Shining Steel. They're taking countermeasures to keep the people safe from Operation Jormungand and whatever dirty tricks Ouroboros might try. It's very noble of Lacan and Thoma to join the effort. Oh yeah, Thoma. Thoma's turning 17 soon, right? Really doesn't surprise me to hear he's grown up to be so strong and dependable. Yeah, he's a fine Nord warrior, especially for his age. And as much as his heart goes out to defend everyone, I think it goes out in particular to protect Charl. Charl? Didn't we meet her at Zender Gate? I think I'm starting to put two and two together here. You're right, that's her. I was kind of surprised myself when I heard they were dating. But I know I can trust him and Dad to look after my mom and sisters, along with the rest of our people, so that's one less worry for me. Sure, I'm sure that must be a relief. Operation Shining Steel came together only thanks to Prince Oliver's undeniable rallying power and initiative, and it opens the path for us to focus on infiltrating the Imperial Fortress. We have about 1,000 supporters altogether, placing an enormous amount of trust in us. We're gonna make that trust pay off then. Wow, seeing you three together is a rare sight. I feel like I just walked into the Thor's faculty office. I'm not your teacher anymore, Rean. Actually, we were just going over which of our old instructors we'll be working with this time around. Oh, now I'm curious. As far as the main campus is concerned, we've got Makarov and Mary on our side. The Vice Principal Heinrich and Beatrix have also offered to help. They'll be splitting up to cover Trista and assist the Arc Royale. That's good news. We'll need all the help we can get. It'd be nice to see those two again. I don't think I've spoken to them since before graduation. I still run into Beatrix every now and then. This is the first I've thought of Heinrich in a while, though. To be honest, I'm surprised that old fuddy-duddy would agree to fight at the system like this. Oh, I don't think he's that bad. I mean, I do. But he always had his students' welfare at heart, I'll give him that. Coming from a noble family like his, he's had his fair share of inner conflicts he's had to come to terms with. In the end, though, the man always seems to put aside his concerns about status and prioritize his students. Between the teachers and alumni, we're putting together an airtight defense against the Society. We've opened up communication channels between the ship and the others. All that remains are our final preparations and contingency plans. Great, keep up the good work. We got Beatrix, Vice Principal Heinrich, the main campus students and alumni, not to mention the bracers from each country. That's a lot of assistance for Operation Shining Steel. There's no way we're backing down now. Now that preparations for Operation Jormungand have been completed, it seems the RMP's role is over for the moment. I'm certain by now Claire is aboard the Imperial Fortress. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably shouldn't mention that I saw her just last night. I told her time and time again not to, but she continues to take everything upon herself. It's foolishness, plain and simple. Yeah, I have to agree. Jorzer, I'd prefer not to drag you into our family issues, but if you have a chance to speak with Claire, please tell her she needs to take a serious look inside herself. One day, I'd like all three of us, Claire, Asara, and I, to be able to visit Emil's grave together. No, maybe that's too much to hope for. Major Irving. It's not just you. I have things I want to tell her, too. I'm sure that goes for you, Tina, and the others as well. Well, Claire, don't worry. Thank you. That's a relief to hear. I wish you the best of luck. I can't let myself get distracted. The largest war in history will soon be upon us, and our task is to see it stopped. As part of the chain of command, I need to ensure I've done absolutely everything within my power to see that task completed. Keep forgetting their family. Yeah, cousins, right? Is your family in Heimdall okay? I think so. I haven't heard from them since yesterday. Uncle Fred's out with the military, so I'm feeling a little worried. I didn't realize. I hope we can get in touch soon. I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't worry about it, okay? Aunt Martha's really strong. I know she and Kyle will be as safe as can be. War breaking out could certainly change things, but that's up to us and how we're carrying things out, right? Right. We need Angelica and the others to take care of the salt pails. Once the barrier is down, we'll head toward the fortress and the Courageous too. But Crow will... Toa. I'm sorry, I promised Angie I wouldn't talk about this anymore. In any case, I'm going to give everyone my full support. Let's see this through to the end. Together. Of course. Down the floor. I'm guessing we'll have the level 3 robots to fight now. Oh, hi, Instructor Rean. Hey, great weather we're having, huh? Yeah. You sure are in a good mood, Sydney. Too good, almost. It's starting to get irritating. I think you had a good night last night? You know Ada from the main campus? Well, she and I ended up on the Ferris wheel, just the two of us, you know? It was kinda awkward at first, but after a while we got talking. I think we really clicked. I even got to see her smile for once. And I asked her if maybe we could do this again sometime after the war. Guess what she said? I'll think about it. Yeah, home run, am I right? Help me out here, Sydney. What's so great about that? Read between the lines, Teach. She's basically saying next time I can ask her out for real and that she'll say yes. You're reaching so far, I'm surprised you haven't fallen over. Come on, Kurt, don't act like you don't know how this stuff works. You seemed pretty chummy with that silly girl from Arkansas Seal last night, though. Whoa, for real? This is the first I've heard of it. Yes, I went to the amusement park with her, but it wasn't a date. I was just there to escort her and Mother, that's all. Really now? Because it looked to me like you two were hitting it off. Oh, tell us more. Yeah, this is juicy. Hang in there, Kurtz. Sigh. I'd really not have anyone misunderstanding things like that, but... Well, I'm not sure why, but being around Sydney, I can somehow avoid feeling too nervous even in this situation. At least I can face our next battle without feeling overly tense. I guess it's not all bad then. Well, we're all just sitting ducks if we don't do something about this war, that's for sure. So I'm kicking into high gear now. There's no brighter future on the other side of all this mess. Oh, there's a brighter future on the other side of all this mess. I just gotta get us there. Handling a gun takes a lot of focus. Sydney's laid-back attitude is somewhat concerning, especially for the day of the operation. Well, it might not be too bad. It's how he always is, after all. That aside, though, what is this strange, gloomy feeling? I wonder if Maya, maybe... Sigh, at any rate, I'll be the one losing focus. I'll go eat some snacks, that'll help calm me down. Thinking about Sydney makes me feel weird. At this rate, I'll be the one losing focus. Got a crush, eh? This feeling, it's like that time with the tree. Are you talking about the azure tree that appeared in Crossbell? We were able to confirm its appearance from the deck of the Old Courageous. Ah, I see. Well, there's still some time before the war actually starts. If there's anything I can help with, just let me know. I appreciate it. The day's finally arrived, but there's still some time before the war actually starts. If there's anything I can help with, just let me know. So this is where you've been, Sharon. Yes, I sometimes find having a task at hand to be calming. Would you like some light refreshments? I can offer you some black tea and sweets. I can also prepare something else if neither to your liking. It would be my pleasure, so please let me know. That does sound pretty tempting. No, I'm fine for now. You'll be with Angelica and George, right? Yes, and Roselia as well. No matter what happens, I have nothing left to fear. I swear on the name Sharon, this beloved name that is mine once more. I'll do anything to aid you and the others. Thank you, Sharon. We'll be counting on you. Even if you're on the surface, just let me know if you ever require my services. If, for instance, you require someone to help wash your back. You're in good spirits, Sharon. I believe this is the first time we've been able to sit down and talk. How's your injury doing? I assume it won't be too much of a hindrance to a swordsman of your caliber. Indeed, I'm still more than capable of cutting a path for the younger generation to follow, just as my ancestor did 250 years ago. Ah, so your time under the gnome's control allowed you to glimpse into your ancestors' memories, did it? The vice captain of the Eisenritter, as well as witness to Leanne's resurrection. Shion Arsade's life ended in regret, did it not? I regret over the fact that he allowed those two to go stop the Vermilion Apocalypse on the final day of the War of the Lions. Judging by what I experienced, I think so. For him, it was less about ending the war and more about the shame of failing to protect his lord and master. But what's past is prologue. My daughter and her friends are already breaking free of history's shackles and creating a future for themselves. I think we can both be grateful for that. May we honor the memory of our fallen friends by sending our enemies to join them. I'll drink to that. We may be working separately, but I'm looking forward to fighting on the same side. I suppose it's time for me to get a little wild today. This energy drink thing is just delicious. It doesn't have any mana in it, but it pairs so well with meat dishes. Why don't we take them back by the dozen and save them for later in the atelier loft? You're going to cause Emma to scold you again. Maybe I should cast my special invisibility spell. It's fine as long as they don't get found out. Seems like she's serious. Roselia never learns, huh? Anyway, I really love this energy drink. Let's use all our money in the vending machines and stock up on these. But not a word to Emma, understand? Back on Arcade, I heard you talked to Roselia. Indeed, partly because we were only able to share pleasantries yesterday. This morning I shared some words with Laura. She looked so resolute and strong-willed, it reminded me of her late mother. This is all thanks to the influence of you in Class 7. Thanks, but did you mention Laura's mother? Now that you mention it, she never talks about her mother. When Laura was young, her mother fell sick and passed away. She may not stand up to Uriah, but she had been very skilled from a young age, and even served as an acting master of the Arcade style. Thinking about it that way makes me certain that my daughter will one day exceed me in terms of skill. I see. She really must have been something else for the Viscount to recognize her talent like this. I was considering offering my aid with the ship's operation, but it seems everyone is already skilled at their posts. But that means I now find myself idle. Oh, we have the game of Vantage Masters. I heard from Laura that you enjoy a game of Vantage Masters, and if rumors are to be believed, you are a card master of frightful cunning and skill. The number of possible strategies is limitless. One could say it's perfect for gaining a deeper understanding of the underlying principles. Would you care for a duel against me? Oh, of course. Sure thing. Finally some lore behind that. Yeah, Laura's mom. Never really mentioned. I won't have a chance until I collect some Vantage Masters cards first. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm good enough to match up with you as it stands. Can I put some work in and challenge you later? Of course. Come speak to me when you are ready for a duel. You can now talk to Viscount Arcade by pressing R2. But we won't get to challenge him unless we beat everybody else. Hey, you two. Oh hey, you two are sparring? Yes, we don't have a lot of time left, but I want to be prepared. After what I witnessed last night, I can't allow myself to rest on my laurels. Seeing you become a divine blade inspired me as well. Thanks. Feels like there's more pressure than ever to be worthy of this new title. I may have glimpsed the path I need to take to enlightenment, but I still have a long way to go before I can achieve that potential. It's good that you haven't given up on improving. I must admit, I was surprised when I heard about this enlightenment principle from Lieutenant General Cassius. It sounds so outlandish, a level beyond forms or reaction times or mental or physical training. A state where you can understand the essence of all things and control them as you wish. And somehow you reached that level before I did. I honestly think that you and Laura have already attained that level to some degree. Just maybe not consciously. Perhaps, regardless, there are no shortcuts when it comes to mastering the sword. It won't do to become impatient. All we can do is continue to polish our own skills, each in our own way. Well, sure, I guess that makes some sense. By their own admission, even my father and General Le Guin are still far from fully understanding the way of the sword. Just like you and your 8 leaves, I'll be working hard from here on to hone my skills within the Arcade School. I'm embarrassed that I said such envious words. I suppose I still have a lot of growing up to do. Anyway, I'll accompany you on your missions until the war breaks out. I intend to train in the style my lord bestowed upon me, so please do not hesitate to ask if you require my assistance. Yep, versus type 1 and 2, level 3. Begin combat training with a select near F2 type 1 and type 2 level 3 using your 4 current attack team members, as physical attacks are not effective against the type 1, and magic attacks are not effective against the type 2. A balanced party is recommended. All members will receive experience points. What's our current group? Dang it. Ready. Begin combat training.
This looks strong. Be careful.
That's a lot of enemies. Oof, I can't use Demo Unchained. I would really love that free turn. Goodness.
Yeah.
Look at all those free turns that we're not allowed to have. Free order turns.
It's my turn. Initiate Omega Operation. I'm up.
Sleipnir F22. An archaism built to resist arts under normal conditions, vulnerable to physical attacks.
I'm up.
And Sleipnir F21.
Ha!
An archaism built to resist physical attacks, vulnerable only to abnormal conditions and arts.
My turn.
Right. Now.
Half dead.
An opening. I'm up.
So much damage, I love it.
Arcane down. Ha! Now.
An opening. I shall go. Arcus activate.
Not on my watch. Take this now.
An opening.
It's my turn. Barret.
I'm up. Roar! Helix now!
An opening. My turn.
Yeah. I shall go.
Initiate!
I shall go.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ready. Petrifying shells loaded. You're not going anywhere.
Here!
I'll assist.
It's my turn! Crimson Slash! It's my turn! Come through now!
An opening.
This is it!
I shall go.
I appreciate it.
My turn. Is that all?
Easy.
You must train more.
Valhalla reached level 10, and we got an achievement, Heavenly Jewel. It's our first. I'm rather shocked we were able to overcome the combination of types 1 and 2 set at the highest level possible. Anyway, here are your rewards. Bunch of stuff. Combat against the Sleipnir. That's some pretty substantial training right there. Duvley, thank you so much. It really is appreciated. Well, there's nothing shocking about lending a hand to the very people who will later be fighting alongside you. In any case, I imagine that we can still get some training in before the fighting breaks out midday. Chorzer, better roll up those sleeves again. Got it. Unity rating increased. But I'm guessing there isn't additional battle training? Yep. No, it's been a while, so... Here we are. We're good. All in on Rean. See, anybody to duel? Got one person to duel. Hey, Rean. Today's a big day. Yeah, feels like it snuck up on us. I know what you mean. After the growl of Erebos appeared, it's just been one thing after another. Hard to believe that was only 2 months ago. Hope you all managed to get some sleep last night. I'm going to need you fresh and ready today. Yeah, that's part of the job. Given the stakes, I couldn't help but be a little tense, but yesterday was rather helpful in that regard. How about you, Rean? You and Elliot were out pretty late. Well, I promised to go meet someone. Wow, a late night rendezvous. Way to go, Elliot. Pretty sure I can guess what went on with who. What went on with who, though? Oh no, it's nothing like that. I'm really curious as to who it could be. But anyway, let's get back on track. Still have a few hours before the strategy commences. We should use this remaining time as constructively as possible. A few hours, huh? Going down to the surface. Hit us up if you need anything. Thanks, guys. There's a chance of improving things, even if it's just a little one. I'll do whatever is necessary. You have to let people hear the music of peace again. Zeno and Leo are helping. There must be something we can do too. Seems Estelle, Joshua, and the others are doing what they can till the last minute. We should also do our best on the special ops missions. War is inevitable now, but we can still mitigate it by not allowing it to progress. We've already come so much. This time will be no different. See, there's so little going on this side, so we might as well do this first. Hey, Rean, taking a little breather? Yeah, for once. Looks like you two had the same idea. Well, that, and we thought we'd go over the plan one more time. Vivi's going to be on the bridge, mostly to document what happens, but she can help out in a pinch if necessary. I mean, I did go to Thor's. I know my way around a first aid kit. Got observation and comms experience, too. Monk and Rex will also be providing support where they can, so that should help as well. Likewise, I'll be doing what I can to make myself useful. This reminds me of when I took on the Infernal Castle 2 years ago. You two were on the bridge of our ship then, too. Man, just think of how we've all grown since then. Wow, was that 2 years already? We really have grown up. They missed a period again. Well, technically a question mark. Especially since Lynn's been recharging her batteries with hot nights of steamy passion. Sounds extra grown up to me. That's not it at all. You're going to give people the wrong idea. In Vivi's defense, it did seem like Lynn was enjoying Gaius' company last night, but... Anyway, pretty soon we're going to have to put this plan into operation. I'd like to reacquaint myself with a few things and check that the communications between here and the bridge are running smoothly. Okay, I guess I'll go touch base with Monk and Rex and the others. This operation's on a whole different level than anything we did during the Civil War. It's kind of overwhelming. But our unbeatable twin power will see us through, just like it always has. Right, well, I'll be counting on you. Nothing to help me de-stress like teasing Lynn. We definitely had a hiccup or two, but we actually got the special issue out. Crazy, right? I can't help but feel optimistic. You can always count on me, your fellow Thor student. When Lynn and I joined forces, we're unstoppable. After everything I witnessed in the Civil War, I knew I couldn't just stand by and watch as people got hurt. I hope that everything we've been through has served to make us a little stronger. All the hospital staff has done so much for me. Now it's our turn to protect them.
Looking for medicine? Stay healthy.
Yusri. Wow, this is a surprise. It's like a literature club reunion. You're right, and it's no mere coincidence. I finally convinced these two to go along with my plan. Dare I even ask? Dorothy wants to publish a literary magazine and for us to contribute. After the war is over, of course. Oh, that's actually a lot more wholesome than I was expecting. It's really an honor you'd even think of including me. Don't be so modest, Titania. I've read your work. Don't worry, Titania. I will guide you through the forest of self-doubt into the plains of true maidenhood. Just believe. Dorothy, thank you so much. I'll do my best. Oh dear. I can already tell you two are going to make a formidable team. And that's not all. Having Emma on the staff will be a great boon, naturally, but Tatiana says she can get Ash to contribute some poetry as well. With all of us working together, we'll take Erebonian literary culture to new heights. You're even roping Ash into it? This is really going to be something. Working on a literary magazine together, I'm really looking forward to it. It's only possible if we defeat the Ebon Knight, though. Today's the moment of truth. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Working on a magazine with graduates from Thor's? I'm not sure I can convince Ash to help that easily. When I managed to gather up the courage last night, it might be possible if I ask. I can't let my fear control me. I'm going to keep asking until he says yes, no matter how many times it takes. Even if he turns me down, I'll keep trying. I don't know if that's the best idea, but you've made some pretty big strides lately, Titania. Once Operation Shining Steel begins, I'm going to be very busy with my intel work. But if I manage to make it through this, I imagine I'll grow not only as a person, but as an author as well. Just imagine the story I'll be able to write after being involved in something like that. Ooh, I get lightheaded just thinking about it. She seemed almost heroic until the end there. But that's just Dorothy. I suppose I know we can count on her. Just imagine the incredible story I'll be able to write if I make it through this. It'll go down in history as my magnum opus. Until that happens, I repeat, I cannot die, no matter what. So what is this event going on over here? Hey there, Rean. You're just in time. You thinking to listen in too? Oh no. Does this have something to do with the plan? You know it. Only thing better than ground support is from one Thor's train is ground support from two of them. So I set up a communication with Arc Royale over in East Erebonia. That way we can coordinate with each other on Operation Shining Steel. The Arc Royale. Isn't that where all the other alumni... Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. This is Klein. Courageous 2. Do you copy? Klein, as in the captain of the swimming club? I heard he joined the intelligence division after graduation, but... I sort of remember him. Is that you, Rean? Wow, it's been ages, huh? Lots happened on our end since then, but we managed to find our footing again at any rate. Now I'm working together with Instructor Beatrix. She's letting me take command of the Arc Royale. Good to hear from ya. Looks like the link's working perfectly. Yep, and thanks to Klein, we managed to get some good misdirection going in on the information side of things. We're getting in touch with Instructor Makarov and the others to make some final checks on the plan. This whole operation's about as brittle as glass. We've been making good progress in our preparation for some time now. All that's left to do is roll up our sleeves and finish up. Belle and Clara too? Oh yeah, Clara, the art girl. We're having those two handle the Panzer Soldat maintenance and piloting. Honestly, we've got about as good of a lineup as we could possibly get here. I can say the same for our supply chain. You just leave the dining car to me. I'll be coming along as well, so there's no need to worry. I remember the cook. Nice to know we can count on you. We're here to lend a hand too, by the way. We'll make sure to divert their attention on land. We spent all this time polishing our skills, after all. We can't let a chance to put them on display pass us by. We managed to get ourselves transferred into the same corps. Now that we're all army civilians. Whitecomb and I will break their ranks like hooves against the hardened soil. Friedel, Loggins, Stefan, and Lambert. You really made it. Oh, I remember Stefan. He was part of the chess club back in Cold Steel 1 and 2. Don't forget about us, too. We'll take care of things on the surface for you. First graduates gotta stick together, after all. We'll back you up with everything we've got. Not just for Erebonia, but for the future of the world itself. You can count on us. We're making through this together. Casper, Monica, Paula, and Colette, too. Thank you, all of you. We'll leave it all in your guys' hands. Let's do this, everyone. Yeah! Afterward, information was then exchanged with the Arc Royale. The Thor's graduates then began carrying out the final preparations for each of their respective operations. That's neat. Give a nice callback to everybody from Cold Steel 1 and 2 who didn't show up in the actual story. The Imperial Chronicle and Crossbolt Times just published a special joint issue, hot off the presses. You should be able to find a copy at any general store, and you might want to get one fast. Between you and me, we slipped this one right by the sensors. Figure they'll be pulling it off the shelves as soon as they realize. I can't believe you got it published. I guess this is your official response? Hell yeah, I wanted to show people that the pen really is mightier than the sword. But with the curse getting stronger and stronger, I'll know how much good it'll do. That doesn't mean we can stop fighting the good fight. We're in this to the end, Rean. Imperial Chronicle, yeah. Me, Vivi, Fidelio, and some of the other younger staffers took point on it. We wanted to shake our readers out of complacency. As a journalist and a Thor's grad, I'm going to fight all the damn way to the end. Now we should be good and ready to coordinate with the Arc Royale. With this many allies, you can make any operation a massive success. We at Radio Tristar are going to flip the sensors to bird and broadcast anything and everything that might shake people into action. I hope we can make even a small change. No, I know we can. Just watch, you're about to see the true magic of radio in action. That special episode you helped us out with has gotten rave reviews. We literally couldn't have done it without you. So many rave reviews, in fact, that we're broadcasting it again today. Listen in and learn the true power of mass media. No, we don't want to listen in on that. Hey, Cerberus. You're cheering us on too, boy? Thanks. I'll let you know if we need your help, okay? Ooh. Oh, I see a glint in your eyes today. What, do I usually have a dour look on my face? No, not really. You just look especially determined today. You know, if you keep reaching for the stars, I bet you'll get farther than you expect. Looking forward to when shit gets real. But don't leave any unfinished business for later, in case there is no later. Just being realistic. I appreciate the tip. Come to think of it, I've got much more to thank you for. I hope I can count on you until the end. You bet, Tachi boy. I've been doing the rounds and getting in supplies since yesterday together with Mama. Looks like the Jaeger Corps and the Volunteer Army are about to go all out. Meanwhile, I got some pretty neat stuff in. Take a look. I'm thinking like...
I got some good stuff.
Okay, we don't have a lot, but we have some. But in terms of... We get, like, new armor. New weapons. Weapons are probably important. Yeah, if Elliot's getting dragged along, gotta do that. Imperial coat and Imperial boots. Garbage equips that we're never going to use, but we're buying them so we have them. And then we have the Valiant coat and the Enhanced boots, which are the better versions. Huh, it's actually worse than what Altina has in every way. Let's see, 3,290, it changes to 3,270. The defense increase is 45. We should have a bunch of spare armor, I think. There we go.
I got some good stuff. Done already?
Whew, managed to get everything set up. You seem busy. Did something happen? Between the fortress and the Pales, everywhere's just mental. And the resource shortage because of the upcoming war just makes things worse. I have to pitch in, as a merchant and a member of Thor's. I see. You've been helping in getting resources into different areas. Aye, just leave this stuff up here to me. With our merchant work and Hugo's influence, we can get this sorted somehow. Really glad to have you both on board. I'm counting on you. It's no easy getting to everyone considering how many towns are in Erebonia. There are in Erebonia. With Hugo's help, we managed it somehow. Leave this to me. You got your own things to focus on. These are the final battle troops. Losing is not an option.
Here's a shout and I'll get you what you need.
Imperial Chronicles Special Joint Issue, War and Peace. This is a special joint issue from the Imperial Chronicle and the Crossbell Times. Bye. And Yellow Hair Vermilion.
Hope to see you again.
So I guess for her order. Because we have access to everyone's costumes, including William here. You can play with that in New Game Plus. Wow, this is practically a meeting of the Four Great Houses. Yeah, we just need Patrick to make it a full set. We got together to go over what we know about our different regions and how the war is likely to affect them, as well as how we each ought to proceed should the war drag on longer than expected. I see. I'm really sorry for putting that burden on your collective shoulders. To be fair, these two are already in positions where they have to govern their territory, but I'll accept the apology, sure. The fate of the entire world is in the balance here. We can't afford to leave anything to chance. The world needs more knights like yesterday. It's a good reminder of what we're fighting for. You're right. We'll definitely make it through this. The battle for the future of the world, which most of the world is unaware of, takes place today, and we will win it, Rean. Once I'm done here, I'm going to meet up with George and we'll get things underway. We'll be working with Roselia and Sharon on this one. Hard to complain about work when the view's that good. I'm going to be giving this my all until I can't give any more. You better do the same, Rean. You can count on it. Got Sharon, Roselia, gorgeous women all over this team. Let's see this through to the end so we can enjoy the view in peace. Our final special ops missions need to be done today. We ought to collect ourselves and make sure we're ready by noon. No, that reminds me. I sunk quite a bit of time into Pom Pom Party recently. I haven't had a chance to challenge you yet. And speaking of games, it's also been a while since I played around the Vantage Masters. Let me know if you fancy a match, instructor. From what I know of your Vantage Master skills, I'm sure you're no pushover in Pom Party either. Anyway, I'll play if you think I'm up to it. You can now play Pom Pom Party against Muse and Vantage Masters against Muse. Let's do it. I'll show no mercy for you, instructor. Okay, we got some new cards. Let's see, I want to look at these though for a second. Halves the mana cost of one card in your hand. Okay, so that was this card. Reduce. Yeah. Tentark. I have no idea this will work out. Well, let's begin the match and see what happens. The Knight.
Play with me a little.
Okay. Not the best starting hand, but it's manageable. Because I can do this. This is where the fun begins. We win.
Oh my, you're better than I expected.
Get a bunch of stuff. No cards, though. That's a shame. The fate of the entire world hangs in the balance here. We can't afford to leave anything to chance. That's why you can count on me to pull my weight. Well, I guess we have to beat her in Palm Party.
Play with me a little.
And I've lost.
Oops, I forgot to go easy on you. Play with me a little.
Hey, that wasn't fair. I reset my movement. Take that. Hopefully I win. Yeah!
Better than I expected.
Let's talk to people. We have a few more recipes we need to learn too. Keep up the good work, Yuna. Take care of yourself and don't be a burden on the others. Sheesh, guys, I'm not a little kid. Well, before you go, this is for you. It's my favorite brooch. I want you to have something too. My retro Mishi strap. What? Are you sure you want to give these to me? Well, not forever. You can return them when you get back. You have to come back safe, or else. Yeah, I will. Thank you both. I'll see you later. I haven't seen Yuna looking so motivated in a while. It's so great that she has friends who can encourage her like this. War may be going ahead, but if anyone can stop it, it's the Radiant Wings. It's time to put everything I've been learning these past years to the test. Come to think of it, not even half a year's passed since we first met. With all the turbulent times we've been through together, it feels as if we'd known each other for other lifetime. Anyway, I wanted to say this. I swear upon the Schladen family name, and more importantly as a member of the Radiant Wings, that I'm going to keep fighting with every ounce of strength I have. Instructor, everyone, be strong out there. You owe it to one another to make it out of this mess. Sure thing. I seriously owe Jessica and Louise one. If I make it back, I'm gonna have to thank them properly for everything they've done for me. Oh, Rean. Whatever am I supposed to do? Margarita, what are you doing here? That is precisely what I am trying to determine, Rean. I'm torn as to which body type I should don today. How can I best serve Operation Shining Steel? Oh, it's truly vexing. Aha. Can she really just choose the way she wants to look? I'll simply never decide on my own. I implore you, Rean, as a fellow representative of Doors, which form do you think I should take? Why me? You're great the way you are. You know, I think you should stay the way you are. You got a tough battle ahead, and you'll need to be strong and hardy. I recommend using the body type that best accounts for that. Thank you, Rean, you're absolutely right. It's settled then. This is how I'll go to war. There, now I can face our final battle without hesitation. Rean, I know choosing between two forms of heart-stopping beauty is no easy task, but I'm grateful you were able to do so. Hey, I'm just glad I could help. Now I can face our final battle with a bold heart and collected head. No, it can't be easy to... Yeah. I don't think we have any dishes. We don't. Of course. Gotta say, I'm impressed. It's been a while since anyone asked me to make this. It's probably the most bitter dish in my repertoire. The taste takes some getting used to. Most people, well, they tend to pass out when they try for the first time. It's healthy and all, but I usually save it for hardcore survivalists. I'm not frightened. If it'll help me grow, I'll finish every last bite. Same here. A son of the Empire shouldn't be picky about his food. Well said. Bring it on, Freddy. Okay, don't say I didn't warn ya. Brace yourselves to the ultimate gastronomic experience, made from only the most magical ingredients and laying bitterness on bitterness. Behold the Freddy Special. Show me your determination to fight your way through the taste explosion at the end of the tunnel. What exactly are those three doing? Whatever it is, it looks like they're all prepared to see it through to the bitter end. The fumes alone are leaving an unpleasant taste in my mouth. The Freddy Special is to be feared. But compared to the trials that await us, I must be strong. My poor father who's still in Heimdall, and for my mother and sister who fled to Leaves. I'm prepared to struggle through any ordeal, no matter how draconian. Compared to the trials that await us and the hardships of my family suffering, this is nothing. Yes. It's all twisted now because of the Great Twilight. Being a man of the Empire didn't mean blindly following orders. I'll do my utmost as a member of the Radiant Wings for the sake of Erebonia's future. This one's on me, instructor. Freddy's specialty. If you bring me the ingredients, I can start producing these en masse. If your palate's not used to this kind of flavor, you may end up fainting from overstimulation. Now, come on, try some. Is this a taste of courage of some sort? I hope you like it. But even though it's one of the best dishes I've whipped up, I don't say that lightly, it's far from perfection. We've got to keep winning so I don't run dry of ingredients to mix up some new exciting recipes. Look to you. I'll be doing everything I can to help out, food or otherwise. Appreciate it, Freddy.
What can I get you today?
Freddy's specialty. It's one of everything. That's pretty good. Restores 75 CP. Sounds good to me.
Give it a try. What can I get you? Come on. You've got good taste. Come on. Give it a try.
I just can't understand why anyone would want to dive headfirst into war. All it leads to is tragedy. Isn't that what sets us humans apart from animals and monsters? Our ability to grow and learn from our mistakes? Shouldn't matter if you're Erebonian or Calvardian. Let's end this war quickly so we can all enjoy a good meal together.
Hey, what can I get you today? Come again.
Freddy has the right frame of mind. Side quest? Hey Stark, what's up? You seem a little preoccupied. Instructor Rean. I guess I do, huh? Shows that Crow's got this big battle ahead of him, and I'm not sure what I should say. My mind is drawing a blank. It's super frustrating. Stark. I finally got to see him again, and just when I was thinking I might be able to repay him for all he's done, this happens. I know very well that most people never get chances like this. It's just that our time here feels a little too short, you could say. Anyway, I'm sorry, Instructor. I shouldn't bother you with this. Hey now, Stark, you know you don't have to worry about that kind of thing with me. Still, now that I know how you feel, I can't just walk away and forget about it. I heard that Crow really took you under his wing. Taught you to have a sharp eye, schooled you in games, that sort of thing. So if one were to describe your relationship, it's really more like a teacher and student dynamic, isn't it? You said you wanted to repay him, so wouldn't it be great just to show your teacher how much his protege has grown? Show him, huh? I think I know what you mean, Instructor. Now that I think about it, I haven't challenged him to a match of anything since we reunited. But honestly, any time I've ever won against him has been due to pure luck. Ability hasn't been a factor in the slightest. And the more I think about it, the more it just gnaws at me. Hey, I hear ya. Here's an idea. Why not channel that frustration into a round of Vanish Masters? I'm sure Crow would be game. You know, that's not a bad idea. Plus, I do have some things I'd like to tell him. Does that mean you're in? Yeah, if he's up for it, then I'm ready anytime. And given that you're here, I'd appreciate it if you observed the match. If you have the time, would you mind sticking around and watching? I'll think it over and see what happens. Would you mind if I got back to you in a little bit? Sorry. Of course, instructor. We all know how busy you are. If you find the time, I'd really appreciate you being there. We shall be... Nope. Fuck. We accidentally created another new save file. Dang it. I was so good about that, too. And there's, like, no option to delete, for whatever reason. We're on a Vanish Masters with Crow. Since I have your instructor, yeah. Go. Of course, Stark. I'd be more than happy to. Thank you so much, instructor. I'll go talk to Crow then. Are we gonna have to, like, beat him with a pre-made deck or something? Stark invited Crow to play around, and the showdown between teacher and student was on. Quest Showdown of the Decade started. Sorry for the suddenness, Crow. Seriously, what's going on? I can't believe you managed to get Rean here. What are you playing at, Stark? Yeah, this is to make sure Crow doesn't cheat or something? Whoa, who are you calling a cheater? No, I just meant... actually... What the hell, you weren't kidding? Enough messing around, you two. It's not often I get to compete against you, so I have a little wager I'd like to place. I was thinking Instructor Rean could be the witness, so that's why I'm here. So what do you want? You remember that set of playing cards I got from you, Crow? The antique ones? I'm thinking of putting them up for grabs, if I lose, that is. Stark showed Crow the cards. You've been taking good care of them for me? Got those from my grandpa way back when, you know. I see. That's the set I found and gave back to Stark. They were really precious to him. After he lost them, he searched frantically until I finally returned them. Why now? It's not like they're important to you anymore, right? That's right. This set is still a priceless treasure in my eyes. I see. So Stark's putting up the deck. You're gonna demand some of equal value from me, yeah? Right. If I win, you have to do what I say. And I mean anything. Someone's looking pretty confident. Don't see why not, then. Can't give what I don't got, after all. Just don't ask for anything impossible. Crow, I'm more than aware of your situation. It's fine by me. Alright, we've got a bet in place, gentlemen. We haven't gotten together since you were a little punk, right? Games, cards, dice, coins? Pretty sure I taught you billiards and darts, too. Your grandpa occasionally taught the both of us, remember? You bet I do. So Crow's both an upperclassman and a teacher to you. But enough about way back when. We don't have all day, so let's get this party started. Fine by me. Good luck, Crow. Alright, I'll be watching over the game then. Take control of Stark and defeat Crow and Vanish Masters. Ah, we are forced to use this deck. And he has a shadow deck too. Perfect.
Alright, game on!
And I like how I was actually right about the whole thing too. You want an expensive card to use Reduce on. Oh great, we're off to a bad start already. Oh nice. That was probably a horrible idea. Ouch. Oh, he has one of these cards. Painful. And we win.
Whoa, you wrecked me there.
First try. AP increased by 2. That's game then, and it looks like Stark's won. I made it through somehow. Damn, I thought I was pretty good at VM. Never even considered the possibility of losing. But no excuses. You won fair and square, Stark. Damn, you've gotten really good, kid. Bro, come on, I'm already 17. I'm not a kid anymore. Guess so. So what do you want from me, huh? Have you decided, Stark? Yeah, I decided before we started. Bro, I want you to treat Instructor Mean and me to a meal. Huh? I was trying to figure out what you wanted. That's no problem. Also, I want to eat in Jirai. And it has to be after the war ends. No, when we bring the war to an end. I'll be looking forward to it, Crow. That's, Stark. I thought I made it clear you shouldn't ask for the impossible. Why? Can't hear you, dude. Speak up. Why the hell have you written yourself off like this already? That's not the Crow I know. You're always telling me to face what comes, to never give up. those were your words, Crow. These past 10 years couldn't have changed who you are fundamentally. So, are those just some pretty words you throw out for people, and you just give up when it comes to your own challenges? Stark. Can't believe I gotta hear this from you, but you're right. I know what I'm asking for is impossible, but it's so frustrating. I don't want to see you like this. What I want to see is a Crow who never gives in, one who keeps fighting until the very end. Stark, thanks. I get what you're saying loud and clear. You're right. I talked the talk, but I wasn't walking. I'll make that promise then. Once we end this war, I'll take you to my favorite place in Jirai. And you can eat as much as you want. Seriously, you can eat till you puke if you want. Thanks, Crow. But why am I coming too? As a sacrifice, I don't know what'll happen to me after everything's over either. Maybe Crow's not the only one that gave up. Well, if Crow's serious about making good on this promise, then I'll follow through too. That's right, Instructor. It'll be the three of us in Jirai. And don't you forget it. Quest Showdown of the Decade completed. We got an Odin gem. 10,000 Mira, Unity rating increase. I should start tackling the operation preparations. Thanks for watching our match, Instructor. I appreciate that you took the time. No, I'm the one who should be thanking you. See, we're currently on this floor. I guess we'll go check the deck again. No, we're on the wrong floor. We need to go to... Might as well just teleport right to the deck. Yeah, 2 people here. Oh, doing an impromptu performance on the deck? You're lucky to get Valerie to yourself, Leonora. Right? I get nervous that I got too many people watching me. But I wanted to try out a new phrase I've been working on and get some feedback on it. Huh, sounds like fun. Oh, it is. I'm having a blast. And not just because of the song. Looking at Valerie now, you'd never think she used to be so distant around people a few months back, am I right, Instructor? Hey, Leonora. She's right. You really made some impressive progress. Come to think of it, it's the same with Altina. Maybe you've just got a talent for bringing out the best in people, Leonora. No, maybe about it. If you say so. I don't feel like I did anything special, though. We really need to put an end to this dumb war and get back to normal. Can't wait for the Modern Music Club to get back together and start playing shows again. We'll make it happen. To be honest, I'm still a little shy about singing in front of an audience, but I guess I've got to get over it sooner or later. I'd like to invite you all to my hometown in Northumbria after this war is over. I never believed I'd be able to think like this. I don't really know how to convey my thoughts. Being able to make such lovely friends has brought me so much joy. Man, I can't wait for this concert. It's gonna be a good time. And that's not all. There's a whole ton of stuff I still want us to do together. School is just getting interesting. I'm not gonna let any war get in the way of that. To the hold. Millie and Maltina, so this is where you were. Yep, enjoying some quality time as sisters. I suppose I can't deny that label anymore. Absolutely not. Aw, you're finally starting to be more honest with your feelings. I'm so proud of you, Tilly. I may not be able to touch you in astral form, but you still deserve a reward for that. Hug time! You know, if you're ever lonely, I'd be happy to go take a nap with you in the break room. Why would I ever want that? We're so much closer now. It's like the regular sisters. It's heartwarming, really. You know, Milliam, you've adjusted to your new form fairly quickly. It actually seems like you're enjoying it. Well, I could do some pretty cool stuff. I mean, now I could fly around even without Lammy, and pass through walls and stuff too. All sorts of mischief. We've never had to go into this storage room, have we? It's there for consistency's sake. I'm telling you, troops, there's more to horses than just the summer races. We got We've got to get out there and see him once the war's over. Sure, I'm down to watch some races. Me too, especially if there's some money on the line. Did I hear something about money on the line? Sorry, instructor. Probably seems kind of callous us talking about when the war is right around the corner. Oh, come on, this ain't that bad. Right? Nothing wrong with discussing our hopes for a brighter and hopefully more financially comfortable future. Agreed, I'm not about to stop you. In fact, maybe I'll come along. Use all of my winnings to treat you boys to a high-class meal. Now you're talking. Ain't that easy. Takes a keen eye to pick a winner. Be interesting to see which of us would win in the race with the highest payout. Only one way to find out. Count me in. I'd like to invite you all to my hometown Aragon after the war's over. Folks aren't wrong when they call it the boonies, but you can't beat our mountain landscapes, and the view of the night sky is killer. Instructor Rean, it'd be my pleasure to show you around. If I get the chance, I'd be happy to take you up on that. In the races with the guys, huh? Well, I guess it might not be too bad. Hell, it might not be a bad idea to just hit up anyone who might be interested, know what I mean? You might be onto something there. Horse racing is a blast and all, but I think a training trip would be brilliant. Can you imagine taking a dirt flinger on the Transcontinental Railroad all the way to the eastern terminus? It'd be fantastic. Though none of that could realistically happen if this war business doesn't get sorted out. Alright, as a member of the Radiant Wings as well, I've got to give everything I got. I believe we can actually max out all of our ordnance with all the stuff we got. I wonder if there's an achievement for it. Obviously not.
Be well. Have a look-see. Be well. Welcome. Be well.
Still don't know how to change bike colors. There was never a prompt for it. Hey Lisa, hey Tita, doing some gear maintenance? Yeah, we've been comparing operating data for some last-minute tweaks. The X was actually designed with this sort of work in mind. We never would have been able to get such great data without you, though, so thank you. I'm glad we could help you out. We'll have to thank Tio as well. Alright, the Epstein Foundation does a lot of work on orbital gear development. A lot of people have worked hard to get us this far. It's time to put all that research to good use. There's no better way to show our gratitude. And these gears aren't just weapons of war. They've been developed with functions like disaster prevention in mind as well. We'll show our foes are serious about building a better world. With you two this determined, I feel like there's no way we can lose. I can't shake this feeling that I'm still in a dream. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. It feels like last night didn't even happen. Look at us, we're acting like kids. We need to keep things professional. Agreed. These gears aren't just weapons of war. They've been developed to assist disaster sites as well. We gotta show our opponents their true value. The situation gets you fired up even if you don't want to be. A little bit of extra dialogue for the person that you spent the night with. Looks like they're going to keep it up right until the end, so I'm going to do the same here. But still, being able to face one of the Pales together with Estelle, Joshua, Ren, and Agate, it's definitely easier to feel brave when you have people like that around you. Meister Mint, you did an admirable job with my maintenance while I was unable to speak. You have my gratitude. You're welcome, Val. It's been fun watching you get so much cooler over time. Likewise. Though I'm afraid we must face the facts. This may well be goodbye. Even if I succeed in being the Ebon Knight, I doubt I will ever be the same afterward. It is likely that my Awakener and I will... Nope, sorry Val, can't let you talk like that. Mean's gonna be fine, you're gonna be fine. And both of you have to come back. Because you're my friend, and friends don't just leave each other. You are correct. Friends do not just leave each other. I will hold off on my goodbyes. I had no idea Valimar and Min talked about this kind of stuff. You heard all that too, huh? Looks like they finished up their last maintenance session. They both come so far. Celine, are you crying? No, it's just dusty in here. At least we don't need to worry about Valimar anymore. All that's left is the last of your special ops missions, and I better not see you slacking on those. Give them your all. If Emma's going to be fighting, then I'll provide support with my orders. Thanks. That'll be a great help. I was just thinking about giving Val a good scrub down. You do have a big battle coming up and all, so I think today we'll get the big guy all clean and sparkling and we'll share some hot goss. Val really is the best conversation partner. I'm sure he thinks the same about you. Thanks for all your hard work. No problem. Yeah, you just leave Val's final adjustments to little old me. I'll take care of Ordy, Draggy, and all the others too.
I'm itching to get started.
Oh no. Oh. CP up at the start of the battle? Really? That's great. The only problem is you need gems and 96 U material.
Huh? Done already? Alright.
96.
I'm itching to get. See you later.
Meister Mint really has no equal. I can agree with that. Thanks again, Valimar. We're all counting on you. We might call you from the surface. If that happens, please lend us your strength. You can count on me. There's still some time until noon. It would be best to stay around as long as possible. The important thing is to make sure that you don't have any regrets. Crow, Professor Smith. I'd introduce you two, but I imagine you already know each other pretty well thanks to Ordine. And what of it? Just as blunt as ever? I went to a lot of trouble to get this data for you. Would it kill you to show a little gratitude? That Draken prototype would never have gotten finished if it wasn't for us. Right, Ordine? You weren't always so adept, Crow. You had no small amount of trouble learning to handle me when I first awakened. Hard as that is to imagine, it does make sense. As I told you before, it's really Franz who deserves the credit for designing these Panzer Soldats. Bringing someone else's project over the finish line does very little for me. Right now my true interest lies in the link between the Divine Knight and Awakener. If we could harness said link, establish that connection with other machines, we could usher in a new era of technological advancement. That's where you come in, Armbrust. I'll be expecting more link data from your attack on the Imperial Fortress. I won't hold my breath, but if possible, I'd like you to deliver it in person. It's more efficient that way. I'd rather not waste time having to recover it. I'd like that too. Sigh. That's a tall order, Professor. As I said, this is a matter of efficiency, not of sentiment. That includes you too, Schwarzer. I need all the data I can get. Alright, I'll do what I can. That's about the nicest exchange I could have expected out of Professor Schmidt. Once these rivalries are completed, we might find ourselves unable to acquire any more data on the Divine Knights. I'll be expecting more link data from your attack of the Imperial Fortress. Aside from that, I also have my disciples' final marks on my mind. I'll observe things from here as much as I am able. I was worried when old Schmidt called for me suddenly. I get the data thing, but damn, I can't believe they're saying it to hand it over directly. I mean, I don't feel bad about it, but... Oh. Stark's gotten to the point where he talks pretty damn big. But a promise is a promise. Let's work hard until the bitter end, alright? Yeah. Whoops. Professor Schmidt has a complicated personality, but he doesn't appear to be a cold or unemotional person. You and Crow sure are blessed when it comes to the people around you. That's everybody in the ship. And like every single place is new. But it's getting late, so I think I'll do a less busy area. So East Lemare is probably the best place. We'll start here and work our way around to talking with everybody. We'll explore Milsant and call it a night. Music's different. It's also darker. Reik always smiles when we talk. We're going to the church to pray together. I hope both our dads come home soon. Nesta, I'm sorry for all the pain I've caused. I realize now that family is what I ought to treasure most. Until now, all I've been interested in is Mira. I didn't prioritize the most important things in my life. I'm sorry. I've been an idiot. Even if I apologize, it's not going to make up for the pain I've inflicted. I finally get it. Reik's been waiting for you to come home. Yeah, Dad, you have to come home. I'm going to study hard, read lots of books, and help you with your work. Thank you, Reik. I hope you let me take care of the daddy stuff when I get back. Now I have to get going. You don't realize what's truly precious until it's gone. The one thing this big idiot can do is get back home alive and see the smiles on the faces of his wife and son. I feel like we've read this dialogue before. Looking back, our married life was full of hardships, but as a wife and mother, I'll wait here for my husband to return, but I barely remember it, so I'm reading it anyway. That's how it usually goes. I'm going to work hard at my studies for when Dad comes home. I'll also find an interesting book to show Lucas. I'll choose one that's easy to read. We'll enter that building last, since it has a quest. Nobody's even in here. Okay. There must be some connection between Gally and this folktale of Lake Gala. The phrase, the lake reflects the person's true nature. Gally must represent the unease and fear of those facing war. There's already that weird floating thing, so what's going to happen if everyone gets even more anxious? There's no way this ends well. I pray that the war ends quickly so no more people have to suffer. There's already that weird floating thing, so what's going to happen if everyone gets even more anxious? Can we see that weird floating thing? Oh, there it is. Man. It's like Termin over Heimdall over there. Father, do you think Gally will like the grave I built? Oh, I think he will. He'll know just how much he meant to you. It makes me feel better. I'm gonna visit Gally's grave every day so he doesn't feel lonely. I want to be with Gally forever and ever, just like how you're always there for me. That sounds like a wonderful idea, Nikki. Listening to Nikki, I finally realized that there wasn't any problem with the way I raised her. I received the message from Heimdall Cathedral. It seems you can expect action on more than just the Eastern Front. I asked that a sister be dispatched for support. There's no harm in being prepared. Where's the grave? I want to visit it. The father from the church is always there for me. And I want to be there for Gally, too. Then no matter what happens, we'll be okay. If we stick together, nothing can scare us. According to the government's announcement, that thing up there is a weapon. I've lived a long time, but I've never seen anything like that before. I wonder how many men from the Empire and the Republic are going to get hurt because of that thing. How many men are going to get hurt because of that thing? My son was conscripted. What's going to happen to him? The father has been walking around town to check in on us. With Diana out of town on business, we have to be able to stand on our own 2 feet. We have to do something to help Lucas and my mother-in-law in my husband's absence, now that he's been conscripted. Check the inn. Robert has been conscripted and our food delivery is delayed. I was thinking of closing down the place for a while, but it'd be pathetic if I gave up on something so minor when my son promised he'd come home from war. As one of the only men left in town, I need to stay strong. I was just... Yeah, I was thinking of closing down the place, but I'd hate to be so pathetic when Robert's joined the war. I had to be strong as one of the only men left in town. Anybody even upstairs? Shit, what you missed last thing you remember, I was rearranging the deck. I beat Musei. I played Vantage Masters as Stark and beat Crow with a set deck on the first try. We talked to everybody. We had a little bit of extra dialogue when we talked to Elisa. And now I'm just looking around Milsant to clean out this new stuff on the map. And from there I was going to call it a night, because it's getting pretty late. So Diana is out of town, they said. Yep, not here. What were our quests anyway? Is this a different quest? Alster Harvest Festival. Yep, this is a hidden quest. Was it about the confession last night? Yeah, pretty much. And probably the kiss. Even if it's Diana we're talking about here, I'm starting to get a bit worried something's happened. Yeah, if she thought her stay was going to drag on, she normally sent a message saying so. But well, given where she went... Right? Diana, that must be the store owner. Pardon the intrusion, but is something troubling you? Guys, you're the military academy folks who keep coming here. Maybe we should ask them. What do you think? Can't hurt. If it won't inconvenience you, I have something I'd like to discuss. Do you have the time now? We do. We'd be happy to listen. We'll try to help if we can. It doesn't look like the owner of the store is here. Is that what's concerning you? That's exactly it. The owner, Diana, left 2 days ago for Crossbell on a work trip. She was scheduled to return yesterday, but she didn't, nor did she send a message saying she'd be late. We have a hunch that something else might be going on. What do you mean by that? The official reason she gave us for going to Crossbell was to stock up on Amorica's special honey. But we think she may have actually gone to Crossbell to visit her family. She has family still in Crossbell? Yes, we don't know any more than that. We think she has a daughter and father back in Crossbell. Maybe I should back up a little. To begin with, it seems Diana herself is originally from Crossbell. Here's the thing, though. We believe her mother's side of the family are Lemaire nobles, and she used those connections to move to Erebonia. I see. The reason she moved is because she got divorced 10 years ago. She left her 10-year-old daughter behind in the city and came here. I think it's always pained her. 8 years ago, she set up this shop and contributed greatly to Milsant's prosperity. She even gave us live-in positions so we'd have a place to stay. We think that everything she did came from her need to atone. If we're right, then it would kind of make sense why it's taking her so long to come back from Crossbell. Huh, I see. She comes from a noble Lemaire family, huh? Something about that rings a bell. I just had a gut feeling. Anyway, it's very worrisome that she hasn't been in contact at all. Do you know where she was intending to stock up on the honey? Yes, it's a store called Tally's General Store on West Street in Crossbell City. Got it. We'll go and see what we can find out for you. You're very kind. We'd appreciate that. So we're looking for Diana, who's gone to Crossbell City. If we visit Tally's General Store, we should take Yuna and Randy. Quest missing person report started. Okay. Diana said she was going to Tally's General Store in Crossbell. She said she needed to stock up on honey, but I don't think that's the real reason. Yeah, I reckon she's actually going to visit family. It's strange that she hasn't contacted us. Would you go and see how she is? I think I should switch Elliot out for Randy. So that way I don't... Because I'm going to forget exactly what I have to do, or who I have to have for the quest. So it's probably a good idea. Doesn't look like he has anything new, unfortunately. Yeah. So despite listening to your suggestion, I am going to switch things out for the sake of efficiency and, poor memory. And, like, anything's better than what he had on before. Yeah, and there was a monster in Einhell Keep. Probably in the depths, I'd bet. I'll save in front of the monster since it doesn't have a new thing. Hey, look, it's another bot that wants to be banned. I didn't expect to see one this late at night. Usually they come out a little bit earlier. Banned. We'll save in front of the monster here, because I'll probably forget. Yep. Would you look at that?
Seems like a good spot for a break.
I agree, Yuna. It's so horrifyingly scary. Alright then. Till next time, probably tomorrow, since I don't do anything on Christmas because, I don't really celebrate it, so... Till tomorrow.